Wonder Wheel. I don't want to go through life being a Wonder Wheel murderer.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to Collectable Past. And we're going to be talking toys tonight. We're also going to be breaking down how figures are made. I'm going to do a segment on that since I was a lead toy designer at McFarlane Toys, and I've worked for various other toy companies. And also want to slap someone in the face real hard because they put out misinformation trying to state facts, which they're dead wrong on. And we will break that down. Yeah, my buddy came out before the Chucky script was ever done, and we'll prove that very, very simply.
I appreciate you mentioned that I came out before that script. And that's a tough thing to do because I heard that the initial concept of that script was actually in process during the 1700s. And
of course
it didn't get completed until about 1985.
I heard the original story came from Lincoln. He was playing with his Lincoln logs, and he said, if only I had a wooden toy that would come to life. And
wait a minute. You didn't hear about the Mesopotamians that were working on that script early on? And they kind of put it down because it was really hard to carve the script out.
Yeah. See, I don't normally troll and do shit like that, but someone got under my skin with personal attacks. So, yeah, we're gonna slap him in the mouth real hard. That'll be a segment called these are the toys that broke Tom. So that's a new one. So anyway, we're going to say hello to the chat first real quick. Chaos Hoy was in here first. We had Toy Mafia. What's up, Slasher? He's also on panel. Hey, buddy. Guinea Pig was saying hello to everyone. Hey. Time Profits in the house. Trina was saying hi to everyone before as well in the chat. Let me see. Edwin Bloodbone Second Chance Campaign. That's Edwin. How you doing, buddy? Always good seeing you. King of Squibs. What's up? And yes, let's say hello to everyone on panel here. Of course, we got Tommy himself, the Guinea Pig Collective. How you doing, buddy?
I'm doing all right. Don't mind me. I'm just a jerk off.
Not today. It's just we're talking toys today.
Yeah, that's right. My bad. Hey, how's it going, everybody? I hope you're doing well. You getting ready to talk some toys? Let's talk some toys, damn it. I'm sorry.
Of course, dude.
I'm back.
Hell yeah, dude. It's great having you. We also have the awesome and lovely Trina. How you doing, Trina?
I'm well. Happy to be here. Hello to all you guys on the panel and in the chat.
Yeah, well, it's always a blast having you here, and I know this is horror month. So, yeah, we're going to get into some cool stuff. And I do have something related to, it's more of a classic one. We got a Universal Monster I'll be showing tonight. As something else came, I filmed it. I didn't get a chance to edit or do the voiceover yet, so I'll have to push that for next week. But I did make a quick short of it, so we'll show that today as well. But let me say another quick hello to, we have another guest here. We got Tree Rock. How you doing, buddy?
I'm doing pretty good. Working on a lot of projects, a lot of unfinished projects, and learning as I go along.
Awesome, dude. Well, we're happy to have you on here today. And yeah, man, we also have Slasher. How you doing, Slasher?
Hey, what's good, man? Thanks for letting me chill.
Yeah, dude, of course.
And, yeah. Hello to all you guys on panel and in the chat.
Yeah, hello everyone out there. So, I don't know. What do you want to do first, Tommy? Because I know you got a few things to show tonight.
Oh yeah, I got a few things, but you got to give me a few seconds here because I'm actually uploading another background. Because it's the opening intro salvo. You know, you're saying hi to everybody. I figured while you're doing that, I could work in the background. You know, pigs do that. We're always busy here. Always busy at the collective. Yeah. Oh, there we go. That's done. So now we can get to it. I actually have this one is actually in two parts. It's actually one that I promised last week that I was actually going to review. Now I was waiting on this one for a while because originally I bought the first figure. I thought it looked like garbage and I actually sent it back. And then I found out that all these core figures actually turned into Volcanicus. So we're talking about the core class Dinobots. Nice. So we're going to start off from horrible to hopefully it gets better with my reviews today because it's horror week. You know, it's like every week is horror week up until Halloween. And apparently all the reviews I'm going to have are either horror related or they're just horrible. So here we go.
We just get bigger.
Fully transformed, here we have Volcanicus. Trying to get him into action poses is quite difficult, but
What? Messed it up.
here we are hanging out with the master of the Transformers, the mighty Cliff Jumper. What's going on, Cliff Jumper? Oh, Cliff Jumper's hanging out. Of course, you know that means it's Transformers related. So we've already done a few reviews on the core class Dinobots. One I had taken back, but unfortunately wound up picking back up. But we did do recently, we had Swoop, and of course we had Scar. And much early on, I had done Grimlock, which I initially took back until I found out that these guys were combiners, and picked them back up again because I want to see this Volcanicus figure. So let's get into the other figures that we haven't taken a look at yet. So first up, we got Slug. He looks okay. And then after Slug, we're going to take a look at Sludge. Oh yeah, Sludge the Brontosaurus, another original member of the Dinobots. And then, of course, Snarl. We're going to start with the last box shown first figure. So here we have Snarl. Snarl doesn't look half bad. He also comes with this little sword right there. And here we have Sludge. Now, I thought Grimlock and Scar looked a little bad in spots. This is ridiculous. Why does Sludge have big giant saddlebags? Like, they couldn't find a better way to hide this stuff. Here we have Slug. Slug, he doesn't look too bad. He also does come with this piece right here. It's supposed to be a little blaster for him. And not too shabby. Not too shabby. All right, let's re-look at the other guys. With a re-look at Swoop. Swoop was actually one of my favorites. The guns port nicely over here on his wings, and then you could turn around and put him in his hand so he has a couple of blasters. Quick re-look at Scar here. Scar was a very blocky figure. And then, of course, we had Grimlock. Grimlock being another very blocky looking figure, very unimaginative. Jumper couldn't hang it to the end of the video and had to step out. But here we go with all the core class Dinobots transformed. And like I've said before, like, this Grimlock is just so blocky. But he's not even the worst offender. Snarl, I've heard other reviewers say that this doesn't look bad. That thing looks like shit. It looks like garbage. And Sludge doesn't look much better. And he's the tiniest one there. He's supposed to be a Brontosaurus. He's supposed to be the second largest Dinobot in this set next to Grimlock.
Hey, can you hear my irritation levels just rising?
Yeah.
With every figure. Like, I can't believe how bad those two new figures look. And I think I get into it at some point. I might have actually had to cut it out because of time restrictions. But I watched these other people's do the review or their reviews on this whole set for Volcanicus, and they were sitting there praising that Snarl and that Sludge figure that looked absolutely horrendous in both. Well, you know, Snarl doesn't look bad as a robot. Looks horrendous as a freaking Stegosaurus. Sludge looked bad in both his Brontosaurus form and his robot form. And they're sitting there praising this garbage. I was like, you freaking simps. You son of you oh God, you have absolutely no integrity whatsoever. Just sucking the teat of Hasbro. Anything to get more product for free.
I know. That's exactly it. That's why they do it. Soul Assassin, what's up, buddy?
What's up, Soul Assassin?
Tonight.
And Time Prophet. I'm really ashamed that you don't know the British spelling of collectible. For shame on you, man. You should do some research before you try to be smart. Like, how do you mess that up? That's proper English spelling of it. Oh, but yeah, so we get into the second part, and the second part of this, it starts out okay at first, and then it literally falls apart, and I start losing my patience again. Can you imagine that? Me losing my patience with a toy that's not done properly. That's one thing you're always going to get from me every single time. I'm going to give you the absolute truth on these figures. I am not going to sugarcoat it. I'm not going to say, hey, well, I'm a big Transformers fan, so I'm going to give this a perfect score every time. You're not getting that. If it's shit, I'm going to tell you it's shit. If it's good with some problems, I'm going to let you know, and I will nitpick on little problems. Very rarely do I give a perfect 10 out of 10 score because I don't think a lot of these figures deserve it, and I don't think that we should have to accept any kind of flaw in these things, especially for the price points that all these damn toys have been raised to. I think it's unacceptable.
Yeah, we should be able to say what the hell we want, man.
Yeah.
I don't know why there's so many people that just do that. They just bend over.
They just do. Okay, here we go with the second part, and then you guys can let me know if I maybe need some Ritalin or something.
Just get bigger.
Fully transformed, here we have Volcanicus. Trying to get him into action poses is quite difficult, but here goes one right here. We're going to do a few more just to show you some of the articulation in his combined form. Here we got one almost resembling a kneeling position. And here we go with one where he's jumping in the air, getting ready to stab somebody with his sword, dagger, whatever. I will say, as a big giant figure, considering how horrible all the rest of these things looked individually, Volcanicus is not horrendous. I mean, he does have a little bit of movement. Granted, it's not great, and it actually starts de-transforming some of these guys. And it kind of falls apart. So, I mean, there is that. So, I mean, even though he looks kind of cool put together, there are so many problems with this one. It's not even funny. He looks cool. You get a Volcanicus, but it is not very good looking. I think this one is a bit of a miss. And quite honestly, I know there's people who are sitting there praising this thing. I cannot praise this. This thing is getting a 5 out of 10. Horrible engineering all the way around. A sloppy figure that falls apart when you move it because it was cheaply engineered by Hasbro. Anyway, guys, even though Jumper checked out early, be sure to let him know what you think about this piece of shit. Later, y'all.
Yeah, I'll say it does look better that it's all connected, but it's still missing the mark.
How old is that character? I've never seen Volcanicus.
Volcanicus was something newer they started doing somewhere around the Combiner Wars.
So what was that, like 90s?
No, that was actually much later. That would have been like 2000 something.
I thought this might have been an old character. I was like, I never heard of this guy. He's cool. I mean, he looks cool, but that figure, like, yeah, falling apart. Like,
yeah, I don't know, man. Yeah, they screwed that up. Oh shit.
Yeah, I started getting really pissed. Like at first, I thought it looked kind of cool because it kind of reminded me a little bit of Combiner Wars, and I was like, oh, well. He kind of forms into a Volcanicus figure. So, I mean, that's not horrendous. Oh, okay, Time Prophet. I thought you were talking about the main title card for the show. I was like, what? I know that's right.
No, yeah. I set everything up today, but yeah, the neon sign, Tommy was just doing it while we were getting started over here. So, yeah, it's just a little typo.
Yeah, that's not a big deal. Okay, my bad. My bad. I thought you were talking about the main intro. I was like, no, that's right. I know that's right.
Time Prophet had you, and he said, "Yeah, real." And Time Prophet was correct.
I can admit that I made a mistake and didn't see that. That's not a problem. Sorry, Time Prophet. Thanks for pointing it out. It's something I can go back in and correct real quick. This is what happens when you do stuff on the fly. But Yeah, like it reminded me of Combiner Wars, but it doesn't fit in with their newer one because they have that newer version of Volcanicus, apparently for their new animated show, that doesn't look anything like this one at all. So, I mean, they were definitely pulling from the inspiration of Combiner Wars, but they absolutely flubbed on the design of this thing. Like, Swoop is the best looking Dinobot out of all of them, but the peg that they use for him for the arm joint to go in, it doesn't hang in there properly. And like you seen, it just fell right out as soon as I moved the figure. I had a hell of a time trying to put that thing into poses because it just didn't want to stand because the feet are so blocky on this thing, and even like the back of the legs, like they're so wide at the bottom of the feet, it just looks ridiculous, and it really limits the posability of this thing. But like I said, once again, all these people with absolutely no integrity are sitting there giving this thing like perfect 10s out of 10 for the. I'm like, really? You say 10 out of 10 for this piece of shit? Are you kidding me?
Yeah, that's ridiculous.
Yeah, they're definitely doing that for the free toys.
Of course they are. I've seen it multiple times too. There's one guy specifically who gets a ton of stuff from McFarlane, so he praises all of his shit all the time. I'm like, how can you praise that? That looks terrible. Or you could tell that it's just like China crap. They're outsourcing to China. And it's like, likenesses are off, paint jobs are terrible, and they're like, this is the greatest figure ever since sliced bread. Oh my god! Like, no, be real, people, please.
Yeah.
Yeah, that looks like the C team did the engineering on that figure, because we've seen some top quality stuff come out of them, and even this year, there's a bunch of cool stuff coming out where the engineering looks absolutely spectacular on some of these things, and like they release something like that, like the Core series. What do they have, a child working on that? You have blocky figures that can't move, that look terrible in robot mode, horrible as they're transformed to dinosaur mode, and combine them for an even worse thing.
Yeah.
I don't get it.
It just makes me sad. What's going on? Bad Take Bojan.
What's up, Tina? Hope all is going well tonight. Yeah, that's crazy stuff. Well, I'll start off with the shorter one. Well, it's literally just a short. And then I'll show the Universal monster. But I got this one in the mail today. Just again, I filmed the thing, but I didn't get a chance to edit it and do the voiceover yet. So I just put up a quick short for you guys to take a quick look at. But I did get the Chun-Li figure, and she is a beautiful looking piece. Incredible. Jada Toys, again, for like one of their first female figures, like proper ones. Yeah, this thing is amazing. This line is incredible. That Fei Long, Tommy had found me one a few months back. I did a full review on him. Incredible figure. But yeah, she just came out. Picked this one up on Big Bad Toy Store, and gotta say, the sculpt work is amazing. Colors are more accurate to the actual game, more so than any other figure I think I've seen. A toy representation of this character. But yeah, they did just a stellar job. I'm looking forward to some of these other characters.
No, I can't wait to see that full review next week. I'm really curious to see if it holds up to the Fei Long and the Ryu, because I know you got Fei Long. I picked up the Ryu, and the Ryu was absolutely fantastic, just as well as the Fei Long one that you reviewed. So
yeah, because it took me longer because I had to take out the SH Figure Arts Street Fighter figures. So I took out Ryu and I took out the Chun-Li that I had to do a comparison, because I know more people are going to want to see that anyway. Proper comparison with these figures. I'll say one thing: the articulation is beautiful on this thing, but for a more natural movement and stance and everything, I think I still give it to SH Figure Arts. Not knocking this thing at all. This thing is a solid 9.5 out of 10. Absolutely beautiful. They both have pros and cons to them. There's not as many cons to this thing as you would think, but they're just minor ones, and yeah, I'll break that down for you guys anyway for the full review.
Are those the only three that are out? Those are the only three characters that are out for this line?
Yeah, right now.
Okay.
Ryu and Fei Long, they came out together, and they just released her.
I want to see some of the boss figures.
Well,
put out
they
like-
have a huge list at the back of the box, so I mean, hopefully they're going to release the rest of them too.
Yeah, I
because
see
the-
that.
the
Yeah,
ones-
it does have the video game menu underneath the figures. I see that.
Yeah, they what they've done so far looks tremendous. And what's going on, Bone and Time Prophet. Sorry to hear that, man. I hope things improve.
Oh man, yeah.
Yeah.
Sending
Prayers
good-
going out to her.
Yeah, tons of prayers. Oh man. Yeah, I got some bad news from a friend I've known from a few years back. Too much sad stuff going around. That's why we're trying to talk about some lighter subjects at least today. Definitely hitting the toys and some of the fun stuff because that's just right now the world's gone crazy. People just be careful tomorrow, whether things are true or not. We'll cover it more on the Friday Underground stream, but
always be prepared, people.
Always.
Hey, Vinny, do they have any date releases for some of the characters, like in the future for the Street Fighter?
I know the Ken Masters. He's the next one that I saw that they solicited.
They got to put out some boss figures. They got to put out like fucking Akuma, Bison, Vega, Sagat.
I want Sagat.
Yeah, I want a proper
Sagat
Sagat as
would be
well.
awesome.
Yeah, he's one of my favorites. And
I see the list right here. So in the next wave, we are gonna let me see if I can bring this picture up, and then I'll open up the screen for it. Now here we go. These they got some really cool ones here. I like it. Yeah, allow. Yeah, thank you. There we go.
Oh, all right.
That fucking Bison is fucking awesome.
Yeah, he looks good. Nice. Yeah, it looks like because I'm on Big Bad Toy Store, they solicited Ken, and he looks like he's January 2024.
Dawson looks too diesel. I'll say he looks too diesel.
Yeah, what's the price figure on these?
About 25.
25.
Yeah, that's pretty good compared. I mean, all like the NECA figures, they're like ranging from 37 to 42. So yeah, $25, and you get nice packaging too. I mean, you saw them; they all look like an arcade box, which is really nice.
Yeah, those boxes are awesome.
It doesn't look like they really did anything with Ken. He looks like he's just a recoloring of the Ryu, which I mean, it makes sense.
Probably
it
is.
makes sense. And the only thing they look like they did is they put a different hair sculpt on top of the head because it even looks like the Ryu face to a degree.
I think no, they are new faces because I'm Big Bad.
Is that a new face?
Yeah, Big Bad Toy Store. Because there's one that's grinning. I'll show that in a sec. But it's they've done that though because I know like the SH Figure Arts, they've done something similar. They use the same bodies, but then they tweaked a few things like the gloves, the bottom of the pants. So where the articulation is like that second with the double knee joint, that bottom one where the pant leg is, like that's new because it's not tattered up.
Okay. All right. Yeah.
Yeah, they do like minor kind of things like that, which I mean, it's fine because you're reusing those molds, so that ain't such a big deal.
I wonder what they're doing with Dalcium. I wonder if they're including like extendable hands or legs, or if these things maybe have a pop out on them.
They should. I mean, that's what he's known for. It'd
Or
be a
if he
missed
has
opportunity.
if he has like a flame that you could attach to his face or his hand.
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
I would think he probably does have a flame because it almost looks like there's a port inside of his mouth.
Mm-hmm.
Did that Chun-Li have any additions to it, like her throwing a fireball?
Yeah. I'll have the full review, but there's no fireball. They gave her the kick effect, which is a multi.
That's cool.
Thing. And what's cool is you could slide it on the foot of the SH Figure Arts one as well. So they're kind of compatible. The plastic stick though that because they have like an extra thing to hold her into place. You don't really need it, especially if you got another figure like she's going to be hitting. You could just rest like that standing leg or the one that's kicking. You could just rest it on top of whoever her air quotations her opponent is. But if you were just to keep it by itself, they didn't make the hole big enough in the actual effect. They have like a base it plugs into, and then the stick that's supposed to go up into it, and the stick that goes up into it, it's too wide, it's too thick. So I guess
They never say it's too wide or too thick.
Oh shit. Again, I'm trying to keep it PG there.
I'm doing. Oh, I just looked it up. So I found a couple more pictures. So Ken comes with a Hadoken blast. Hold on, I might as well just show this.
Oh yeah, I was about to pull it up. If
Pull
you
it
got
out.
it, you want to show it?
Yeah, I can pull this out.
Woo,
So
woo,
he
yeah.
does come with arms and legs that are stretched out that you attach.
Oh, yeah, I see.
Bison comes with his Psycho Blast.
Psycho Crusher.
Nice.
And then Ken comes with a red fireball.
Cool.
That's probably the uppercut effect.
Now, the way these limbs look, I wonder if they're solid plastic or if these are like bendy.
I don't know.
Probably solid plastic.
Yeah. Well, if they're gonna come out around the same time, because it's weird that they released 2 figures and then the Chun-Li figure by itself. You know, they're in the same wave than that first wave, but then I don't know. With this one, we'll find out. But I do have the if you wanted to see more shots of Ken in action. Yeah, we got the big bad toy store. So
You know, I gotta agree with Time Prophet because he does look like He-Man.
yeah, you're not wrong.
Well, then
But
you
that-
get 2 action figures.
Yeah.
Right.
Is he can do he can.
Oh yeah, you're right. So yeah, he has the that effect. Oh, so this is the same one that Ryu has. It's just an orange.
Yeah, just like an orangey red.
Gotcha.
color.
All right, so yeah, they went a little cheaper on that.
That still looks cool.
It does look good.
Yeah.
Oh
They
yeah,
should've
that
given
is
the
a
uppercut
complete different face sculpt.
Yeah.
You couldn't
So
tell from the straight shot, you know.
What about the gloves? Are they different too?
No, the gloves are basically the same because he had like the red
Mm-hmm.
over top of his hand.
Okay. So yeah, the pant leg, I was correct on that. They just changed the bottom of those. So it's just that one.
I wonder if they have the loser face where he's all beat up.
No. You know who does that? Storm Collectibles. They do that. They throw in I think like 4 heads.
Yeah, NECA had the Rocky 4 set.
Oh yeah.
Where you could change their faces to be all bloodied and bruised up.
Yeah, so not bad. These look awesome.
Yeah, they really do look awesome.
Let's see.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, she
What
sold
a-
out already again.
Why
I
did
was going
they
to say,
put out
what a far
Phelan?
cry. Oh,
Huh?
go ahead, Slasher.
No, I was gonna say, why did they put out Phelan before so many of the other characters? There were so many other better characters. They put out.
Maybe because they got licensing rights, because there was a problem before Vinny was talking about with Bruce Lee's
Yeah.
likeness.
He's not going to be in any more games. Yeah, the Bruce Lee family. I guess they're.
Oh, really?
Yep. So, and again, he was one of my favorites anyway. I was always a huge fan of Bruce Lee to begin with. So, and I did the full review on this guy. Awesome figure. Although this effect, it's kind of like the plastic is really cheap. It's like a rubbery type thing, and it already feels like all sticky. So I think this thing is going to disintegrate over time. So that's just a fair warning for people out there. And there is something similar with Chun-Li. Her effect it's not as severe as that one, but the skirt that's on the figure itself, that these 2 parts that hang off, that feels kind of cheap as well. So I don't know how the Ryu is, if his like the gi.
I didn't notice, but I can tell you one thing just from my experience with a lot of those toys that have like that rubber filling plastic on them. One thing I never do is I never put them in a closet or anything like that. I always keep them in a well ventilated area.
That's good.
I usually keep those things out because that type of plastic that's got that like rubber feel to it, like anything like that, if you put it in a closet or if you put it in a tote that's got absolutely no airflow, it's going to become sticky and it's going to start disintegrating.
Yeah.
And once it happens, I don't know how to reverse it.
Yeah. It's just chemical degrading process.
Is it? Yeah, I was just gonna ask. Is that just how it degrades, like in general?
Yeah, because it like it'll start to crumble, like fall apart in your hands and stuff too. It's just kind of like little stages of it. There's one of the old Toy Biz figures I had. I was gonna send it over for Trey, and I went, "Oh no, this is toxic. I don't want him playing with that." And You know, I
Which
told you
one
to.
was it?
One of the Colossus figures.
What was wrong with it?
The red, like that kind of like the his shirt shoulder gimmick there. Like that whatever rubbery material that they used, it was already like the red was even falling apart. It was coming off in your hands.
Oh,
Yeah, some cheap stuff.
Yeah, that's because of the plastic they used.
So Soul Assassin, I'd say vinyl is one of the fastest things that kind of crumbles and falls apart as well. There's a lot of Chinese companies that use that. They've done like these kind of like vinyl statues. They call them statues. A lot of them are just kind of like hollowed out. So yeah, those things kind of crumble and fall apart pretty quickly. I know they did it with Final Fantasy. They did it with a few of them. There was Jill Valentine from Resident Evil 3. I think she was about 9 inches, and the Nemesis was like I think either 12 inches or 14 inches. He was much bigger, but yeah, couldn't find him. But I know that Jill figure, she started like to like fall apart because she was all hollowed out. It was like she was supposed to stay in a box essentially. So it kind of sucks when they do stuff like that.
Is that going to happen to our NECA toys that are on the shelf?
They shouldn't. The plastic's a lot better.
Okay.
If there's like a rubbery type plastic or some things that are a little bit more kind of, they feel a little more flimsy. It's possible, but you can kind of tell if they start to get sticky, then yeah, it's really bad plastic. But for the most part, those are pretty good. I don't think I've had any issues with NECA figures. And, you know,
the funny thing is this is not even a new problem for some of these toys, because I remember some of the older Battlestar Galactica toys that they came out when, I think that was like 79 when they came out with those toys. A few of those toys had like that softer rubbery type feeling material on them, like the Cylons in particular. The bottom of their legs were this like rubbery plastic type feeling shit. Yeah. And if you left them sitting in a closed environment for too long, the whole bottom of the legs just becomes sticky as shit.
Wow. Hey, you know what? Since we're talking about some of this stuff, let's just get into it. You guys want to know how figures are made? I'll give you kind of a breakdown on it. It's not overly,
tell us, Vinny, tell us.
It's not overly complicated, but there is definitely a process, depending on the company, if it's a licensed product or not. But essentially, if it is a licensed product, you know, you shell out the money for it. You got to do, again, the concept drawings. They have to be approved. Once they're approved by all parties, then you can move forward to the sculpting phase. Once the sculpting phase gets to a certain point, this is even before you put articulation in, they usually have another review process. And again, all parties that are involved have to agree upon it. At that point, you usually have, like, let's say, if it is Street Fighter, Capcom might be very particular about certain looks of certain characters. Some of them they don't really care so much about. Others they're very particular. So like Chun-Li, they'd make sure that like every part of her outfit has to be picture perfect to their original designs. Something like Ryu, they were a stickler. I know I worked with someone who's about to make Street Fighter figures, and the hair had to be a very specific way of being sculpted and done. Again, this was we're talking old school, you know, hand sculpted, not just on computer stuff. We could talk about that a little bit later, but that's just part of the process and how things are. Depending on the company, yeah, there are different places that'll do molds and stuff certain ways. So once you get to a point, well, again, like I could speak for the McFarlane side of things. Once a figure was fully sculpted, it would go over to the mold shop, and they would recast the whole thing in a different type of clay, something that's it's more solid, but it's more pliable if it's heated. So most of the people there, they would use like a jeweler's waxer, and they'd carve in extra details, stuff along those lines. But at that point, when it goes to the mold shop, they also start to cut it up. And they usually cut it up in the points where it's going to be articulated. So that's one of the main things. If it's an overly complicated piece, they will do other things. They'll chop it at other points because you'll have characters that maybe one has like its mouth open, like it's kind of like screaming or something. If it's a monster, let's say, and you're gonna have all this kind of empty space and stuff. And
So, Vinny,
yeah,
just a quick like, so we got concept design,
yeah,
and then we got finished design, and then
Mhm.
we move to prototypes. Like how long does just that process sometimes take? Just to start it off, like
just to
what-
start off
what-
with that, it could
yeah.
take a couple of months alone for something like that.
Did Capcom get this particular because of the very first Street Fighter figures they put out with the GI Joe line? Because some of those look really, really bad. Some of them look good, and some of them look terrible.
I'd say
Did
it's
Capcom
just
get mad about that?
it's possible, but I don't know. I think at the time that was kind of like the pinnacle of like figures. I mean, there weren't too many that were being overly detailed and stuff. It's over time, figures got more and more detailed and better articulation wise and all that. So they got more particular with some of their critiques on things and getting it closer to what they wanted. But again, I'm just using them as an example because every company is going to be a little bit different. You might have people.
Oh yeah, I was just saying because you said Capcom started to get very particular about how they wanted their figures.
Yeah,
I can see those GI Joe figures as being them for getting that way.
Right, but you gotta keep in mind too, because not just the figures, but as more games came out, they become more and more detailed and more
they
stylized.
change up the look.
Yeah. So like you have like the Street Fighter Alpha that was more like that cartoony kind of, they feel more anime. Like then you have like the 3D ones, like the more current games. They're like blocky but still kind of cartoonish, and those designs have to be very specific as well. Because I know NECA had the license at one point when I think the Street Fighter 4 came out. I want to say. Or it might have been, I think it was 4. And they started getting like that more 3D blocky kind of that feel. But so I mean, like I said, the process is very, very specific. And then again, like around that point, once you get, once they like resculpt everything, put extra detail in, and where the joints are going to be. Now the joints, they usually just do like, when I was there, they weren't doing like double joints and stuff like that. But if they did, you'd see like these big pins going through like the arms and stuff. It was more like these kind of sliding joints. That's what McFarlane was really known for back then, because he didn't like overly complicated articulation. While I was there, we started pushing more of that because there was a lot of Japanese import figures that were coming out, and they were doing some really cool stuff, sneaky joints as well, things that you wouldn't really think to put into a figure, like kind of joints that were on an angle. So you'd have like a guy who he'd be able to crunch forward, and then if you rotate him backwards, it'd be like he's in this kind of screaming pose. Then it evolved from there into more like ball joints, so you have even better range, and then how to hide that. And so I mean, like I said, it's a process to do all this stuff, but it does take a lot of time. Like the that Viking Age, medieval Viking Age stuff that I designed. Those figures, that took a good solid, I think, 14 months between designs and then getting it out on shelves. So it was well over a year for like that full line of figures to come out. And we also had variants, variant head sculpts and accessories, paint jobs, because like KB's toy stores, they wanted another version. So like we had to come up with all different kind of stuff. I mean, it was good. It was kind of smart too, because they sold even more figures that way, and people had a choice of kind of what they wanted. Some people didn't like a certain head on a figure, but maybe on that variant it's even better, and they went on that one. So and it's pretty cool how they do all that. The plastic injection molds, that time profit, that varies on specifically like on what they're looking to do. Usually when the figures get sent overseas, they're cutting steel molds, because the number of figures and stuff that you're making and the details that have to be in there, it's a process. I myself never went overseas to see how that part of it's done. A couple of years before he got there, they took the heads of like each department they had gone. but yeah, it is interesting how they kind of break everything down. And again, the paint application too. I forgot that. That's another one that's very particular. And again, you got to make sure everything is 100% correct. The way that you break it down, the colors, there are very specific colors that Capcom might want. It's a very specific shade of blue that they want for like Chun-Li's outfit, the yellow trim, and they have like numbers and stuff that are all kind of, I guess, like the universal breakdown. Textures as well. There's certain characters that have textured clothes and or armor and whatnot, and you kind of at that point they started implementing some of the like computer technology in there, where you could just kind of punch in like what you want or something that's close to like that texture for a certain figure, and they could retain some of that detail. But like I said, in most cases they were done by hand at that time. Now everyone's using like ZBrush and stuff, so you'll have all your options and stuff are like right built into that, and you're just sending over a digital file essentially.
So we've gone through all that stuff as far as like just building up to actually making the toy and the prototypes, actually getting the proof of concept. Yep. When they have a completely finished figure and everybody on all parties are happy with it. And then you move to the stage where they actually have to start marketing the figure too.
That's right.
But but right before we get there, there's something else that probably both of those might miss before we get to that stage. There's one last stage before they get to marketing. Putting a patent on everything that they've done for that figure. They have to run everything through the patent office, which takes a little bit of time.
This is true, but if it's already like a licensed figure like that, it's usually that wasn't in our hands at the design studio. That was either taken care of or dealt with specifically with like Capcom, let's say, depending on what it is. Now, if it is your own, whatever the company, if they come up with a brand new product, let's say My Buddy. So let's say Hasbro decided they want to make My Buddy figures. And at the time, we're talking about the early 80s now. So My Buddy, that had to be brainstormed first before they came up with any kind of concept, any kind of ideas. And they would literally be sitting in a pitch room and they'd be going like, okay, we want to see if dolls are still marketable for boys, because G.I. Joe type stuff, like those were the original figures. They were like, those bigger dolls with clothes and everything. And they're like, well, do we still lean into that? Barbie figures were still selling. Would boys buy something like that? So they have to sit down and break down what would be better to do. And then at the time too, they wanted to teach kids how to play together properly, how to respect each other properly. So they said, well, what if we have more of an educational type figure or toy? Basically, yeah, they brainstormed and came up with the My Buddy idea. Now, that whole process could have taken, we're talking close to 3 years that process could have taken, because it was brand new, it was innovative, it had mechanical parts, it had plush. There are multiple factors in a figure like that. And again, you'd have to have your top people behind the scenes all in agreement on this. You'd also have to have a prototype ready for children to play with. They have to do like a test. Remember, like in the movie Big, he had to play with some of these toys and like okay it beforehand.
Yeah. He hated that Empire State Building transforming toy.
Yeah, it's stuff like that. It's a much bigger process when it's something that's a brand new thing that no one's ever done before, and to put it out there on the market at that time, yeah, you'd have to go in certain channels to do this. So then you'd have to make sure that design-wise, this thing is going to be appealing enough that kids are going to want to play with it. Two, the voice box and all that stuff. It can't be creepy in any possible way, shape, or form with the pull string aspect. When there's mechanical parts, it's going to take way longer. So let's say they get all this stuff done, the stitch work that they have to do in the doll itself for the clothes, the plush material, what's going to be durable. It's going to be able to take a beating, because kids, when they play with toys, they're like throwing them across the room. They're dragging them on the floor. They're letting the pets run around with them as well, because how many times have you seen a dog just grab whatever they could and run with it and play with it and tear it apart? So there's so many steps along the way. Now, you got to remember, too, in order to get this thing out and market, which they got it out in 1985, it means this figure had to have been, and we're talking minimum right here, 1984 Toy Fair. The prototype had to be ready for 84 Toy Fair. Why do you say that? Well, because you have to then market it and get retailers to jump on board with this. Because let's say you go through the entire process. That entire process could either blow up in your face or do really well. And Toy Fair usually determines that. If you have no interest in your product and no sales when you're showing it at Toy Fair, which is usually in February at the start of the year, then you're in big trouble. If you have a whole bunch of buzz, a lot of people talking about it, you have the media jumping all over it, newspapers like, oh my God, this is a brand new figure that this is fantastic. This is incredible. Then what you do is you grab all those numbers and you know how many you're going to have to mass produce. And mass producing those figures takes a long ass time as well. You can't just crank those out in a couple of months. That is some complicated stuff. So that's what I mean. You need at least a year beforehand before going to, like I said, manufacturing and all that. So, yeah. So to prove the point once again, the My Buddy figure, which when you're at Toy Fair, you have people there that you could even hire advertisers to pitch the figure for you. There are going to be people walking around there anyway that those advertisers are going to want a piece of this. They see something great. Oh, I want to be a part of it. I want to help you market this. I'll bring it to market in a proper way. Make commercials, toy commercials, because that's what sells toys. Maybe a cartoon. There's a lot of things that go in those steps to break it all down and all that. So, yeah, for it to come out in 1985, mass-produced, commercial and everything, at minimum, this had to be at Toy Fair in 1984. And because, like I said, I found in the Hollywood Reporter, the script writer for the Child's Play movie, he said that his father was in advertisement and he saw the figure. So what does that tell you? That tells you My Buddy came out first and Chucky ripped it off. They did a twisted, demented version of it.
And there you go. We roundabout got down and answered your question, Time Prophet.
Well,
here's one more thing just to add to that for all the naysayers about this kind of stuff. Like, oh, they think that it just like instantly is cranked out and they make them, quickly and they're on shelves. Think about this. When these figures are made and they're marketed and everything, think about some of these reviewers just on YouTube. Because I know some of you people have seen it. No matter what kind of collectibles you're into, you're going to see these reviewers that get them 6 months, maybe even up to 10 months before anybody else ever sees them on the shelves. Why do you think that is? These things were already well into creation mode. They were already made. They were being sent out to people to test the market, to see how well they fare, see what kind of reviews that they can get back for these things. These things were in production for a long time before that. I mean, it's the same thing with video games or anything else where you see news about it a year or so before it ever comes out.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, man. There's a process that happens. So these people who don't know their ass from their elbow, have not been in this industry whatsoever, and just go, I watched a YouTube video and I know what I'm saying. You don't know your ass from your elbow, pal. So yeah, that was the first segment of.
Hold on. I got the perfect reply to those people that say that.
Cocaine's a hell of a drug.
Amen to that.
What's up, Frank? I see Frankie's being a comedian again.
Yeah, he is. He was an ass hair away from being blocked. No, I'm kidding. I know he was breaking balls. Yeah, so it's man, I hate stupid people. Even Fetterman, he could see that clearly, and he's like brain dead. And he's like, yeah, My Buddy definitely came out first. Yeah, any moron could see that. But anyway. I remember
during the Great Depression when they first started talking about My Buddy.
I like Tony. He had the black one, and he said that The
It
George
looked like he had
Floyd
no legs.
strip came out first.
And then they made a girl one, remember? Kid's sister.
Oh yeah.
She had the
That's right.
same exact song as My Buddy, just his fucking lyrics were kid's sister.
Yep. And here's the other thing too.
I wanted the My Buddy. I didn't want the kid sister.
Yeah.
Both
I
those
wonder if
commercials annoyed me.
I wonder if they're gonna go to market with the Megan figure.
Oh, I would love. Oh man, do you think NECA will make a Megan figure?
If they do, I mean,
They
what
seem
scale?
to- they-
what
they do
scale
seem
would they
to
do?
soak up those horror figures?
Huh?
They always do seem to soak up those horror figures.
They do. Have they
Yeah.
done any? Have they done any Bloomhouse properties yet?
That's a good question. I have no idea.
Oh well, yeah, they did. Halloween. Wasn't that Blumhouse? Those last 3 Halloween movies?
Yeah, I think it was.
So then there's definitely a chance.
Who was a Trick or Treat done by?
That was NECA.
No.
Oh, you mean
the
the
studio.
the studio? Oh
Yeah.
man, I don't know. Let me look it up.
Yeah, it's a good question. Oh, for those who are curious too about copyright issues, all you have to do is change something 15 to 20%, and legally they can get away with it. So that's pretty much common knowledge. So there's the other one for you guys if you are curious. And since they inverted the colors, that's another.
Vinny, did you must have known, since you're a comic guy, you must have known of all the 80s rip-offs of Ninja Turtles, right?
There's been a bunch. I know
Like,
there's one that's coming out recently.
Adolescent
Cyber one.
radioactive black belt hamsters and geriatric gangrene jujitsu gerbils, shit like that.
I remember there was a little craze about that, but I'm not familiar with all of them.
I'm saying, like, those guys, Eastman and Laird, didn't turn around and sue them even after they got big.
Yeah. Well,
Granted, it is a direct ripoff of Ninja Turtles, but
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
Well, look at Rob Liefeld. He's created so many characters of direct knockoffs of Marvel and
What
DC
you mean, like
characters.
Deadpool?
Yeah, the Deadpool stuff. But not only that, like he I don't know the name of his characters because again,
Doesn't he deny to this day that Deadpool is a ripoff of Deathstroke?
I think he confirmed that it was.
Okay.
Yeah, it's the same. It's the same last name even.
Yeah.
It's Deathstroke.
Even the first name sounds the same.
Yeah, it's Deathstroke and Snake Eyes. He just merged the 2 characters, is what he did. And again, he wasn't wisecracking or anything. That came later. That was that Kelly guy, that writer. I forget who the artist was on that.
I mean, like if you look at My Buddy and you look at everyone knows it as the Chucky doll. It's the good guy dolls. But if you look at those, like is there even a 15% difference? To me, it's like just an inversion of colors.
It doesn't really look like much of a difference at all.
No, it really doesn't. It's like it's just an inversion of colors. Like in one, the overalls are red and the other is blue, and then the stripes are a little bit different. Like, and then one is the shoes are red, the other it's like barely different.
Yeah. Hold on, I'll pull it up too.
I mean, obviously there was enough difference that they didn't get sued, but
yeah. Wow. But here's the thing: if they came out and kept saying it over and over that yes, it was definitely the main inspiration. They can't. That's why they kept pivoting to Cabbage Patch dolls and other stuff because they could leave themselves open to litigation.
Yeah.
Any moron could see that. But,
Garbage Pail Kids didn't get fucked with, did they? They made those cards for years, and those were direct because their faces were exactly the same as the Cabbage Patch Kids.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. So someone had basically a perfect combination of what they did to pop out Chucky. But Chucky, like the cuffed pants, they put extra stripes and stuff on them. It was this one.
Yeah, like it's an inversion of colors. Like My Buddy has the red overalls.
Yep.
Chucky has the blue.
Mm-hmm.
Their shoes are different, like switched colors.
Yeah, his hair
both have striped shirts.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Other than that, I mean, it's like Wow.
And the print, they had to throw like a print all over
Yeah.
his pants and stuff. But again, that's enough. That's enough to 15 to 20%. He actually has fingers. The other one is just stitched.
Right.
And
That's
more
true.
plush. That also that comes into play, the plastic parts versus more of the plushy parts.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, it's not overly complicated to rip off something. We've seen it multiple times over the years in all different places. So there you go. And the not a mystery at all, but I mean, it's solved.
Well, you know, what's funny is when they were doing marketing for Chucky, when it became like a hit, they actually did a plushie style doll of Chucky, and it did have like the stitched hands and everything like that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Excuse me. I think after they made Chucky, then they were allowed to make plushie versions of him.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Well, by then, my buddy was dying already on the shelves.
Yeah. Well, they said
because of Chucky.
Yeah, Child's Play definitely heard it when it came out in '88. They said it tanked their sales, and by 1990 they stopped making the My Buddy doll.
Yeah, it wasn't. Yeah, the movie was directly responsible for the die off of the My Buddy doll and it wasn't just like parents being freaked out about it. Like, I don't want my kid to have that if it was in like this murderous movie and stuff. Even the kids were like, I don't want that doll. It's scary.
Mm-hmm. Oh wait, we got a request out here from Adega in the Fauci voice. We'll say it. Midnight's vagina. You're wrong. So there you go.
I mean, hell, how do you even discount the fact that he was originally going to call it like Buddy was going to be the name of the doll in Child's Play? Like, how do you even discount that?
Mm-hmm. Well, see, when you have people who are like egomaniacs and all logic goes out the window because they have to be right no matter what, that's when they start trying to block you and stuff and act like little bitches and name call and everything else. So that's what I mean. It's the stupidity about all that thing. The whole thing, including the, like I said, the screenplay writer, he said that his father was an advertisement and he's seen the doll.
Yeah.
So that means he saw him at Toy Fair. That's how that works.
Yeah.
Time Prophet, you're not wrong.
Yeah.
I know.
It'd be cool if they did a comeback at some point. But you know what else hurt?
Don't call it a comeback.
Right.
My buddy's been here for years.
I think something else that hurt that was also that the video game market was getting better and better because most kids, like, and the parents anyway, they'd throw like a Game Boy or a Nintendo in the kids' hands, and you know they'd be entertained and quiet for hours essentially, as opposed to if they just were running around with their little doll.
I didn't. Well, you might be right. I mean, obviously, there was probably some kids doing that. I didn't see a lot of that when I was growing up. Most of like my friends and the kids, you know, that I hung around with my age, we didn't retreat into video games until we had the Nintendo console. Like, it was mostly we were console kids.
Yeah, well, I remember when like my brother, he first got Nintendo. I mean, that was kind of like the big thing. Like everything was kind of put on hold, and what's this? Oh my God, you actually play as a hero.
See, I was all right. I was, you know, playing with regular toys and playing video games.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, I think I gave the equal amount of time to both of them.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I know as time went by, like the younger generation, they started going straight into that because I know like my cousin's kids, they're all way younger and like kind of helped raise them a little bit too. They were glued. I'm telling you, glued to the Game Boys and all the different consoles and stuff. One of my cousins, he was getting neurological problems, and the doctor was telling him, he's got to limit his time on all that stuff.
Yep.
So, I mean, and again, if you have parents that are neglecting their kids or, you know, single parents, I mean, it's easier for them to just.
Yeah. Like when you think about it as a whole, like it's not just a video game issue. Like there's a lot going on. Like if that kid is just playing video games all the time, then he's obviously not getting the proper attention from his parents.
Yeah.
Like there's a whole world to it that isn't just the video games, but yeah, it's
absolutely. But Frank had mentioned these. Yeah, my pet monster. Yeah, these things are crazy.
Yeah.
I barely
Holy
remember
shit,
that.
that's the one I have.
Do you still have it?
The blue one with the orange shackles. That's the one I still have.
Yeah.
Oh, dude.
I don't want to say what his nose looks like.
Yeah. You know what he did at one point? As we were getting older and like we were just throwing out shit and getting rid of things, I cut the face off of this thing and I use it like a Halloween mask.
That's awesome.
That was pretty great. Oh yeah, here are more of them. Yeah, we had this weird red one too. We had the main blue one in the middle, and then that one next to him there.
You know, when you were talking about video games, I didn't really get into playing a lot of video games until maybe '92. I had Super Nintendo. I got a Super Nintendo, and I got a lot of games, Mortal Kombat, and all that. And I spent a lot of time playing video games then. But I had a great childhood, you know, just growing up with all of the animation. Saturday mornings, and sometimes they had Sunday cartoons too, but mostly on Saturday.
For sure. Yeah, I think we had this conversation. I think it was with Monotony as well. And we said it. I think we were kind of like in that perfect time period where we got to appreciate all that stuff, from actual physical figures and toys to video games to movies, cartoons, but none of it was like truly overwhelming. Like we were still able to run outside and play sports or ride bikes.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like we would go watch. We would be in the house watching wrestling or cartoons or whatever, and then we'd go outside and chill.
Yeah.
I mean those weekends were full. That's it. Those awesome cartoons, and then and they always played in the morning, nice and early. So you eat your cereal, you do all that crap, and then the rest of the day you're running outside and playing and hanging out and stuff.
Yeah, they even played some old cartoons, which I don't think they even play those on television anymore. The Pink Panther and a bunch of other old style cartoons, not that the current ones, but it was great growing up during that era, and I feel really bad for the kids. These video games that they're playing now, I don't even think they're video games because it takes like 30, 40 hours to even finish one, if it's even.
Like Chris says too, they're interactive movies is what they are.
Yeah, really. That's a good description for it.
Yeah.
The kids these days will never know the torment of like not being able to save it, like your progress.
Oh yeah, having to get through a game all in one shot, old school NES style.
Yeah. Mario, like there was countless times where Trina, dinner's ready, and I'm like, I can't.
Yeah. Wait. Yeah, I was the same way.
Yeah,
I'd go to my dad and said, "Are you going to the mall? I need to go to the magazine store. I need to look up a code. Some of those codes that they have for this."
Yeah.
Game Pro used to have those things. The cheat section all the time.
Yeah, I did that with what was it? Silent Hill. There was a couple of parts that were driving me crazy, and I went to the local supermarket and I was like, "Oh, that's how I do it." Run back home, put it back on.
Yeah, because you get stuck if you didn't know what to do. Some of those games, they wouldn't let you progress.
Yeah, and it's crazy too because some of them were like really simple, easy fixes, and you wouldn't have known because oh, I didn't know I could do that, or there was something that it was a feature that you didn't do at all throughout the rest of the game, but in this one part you were able to do something. It's like, well, how was I supposed to know that? Chris mentioned the game too the other day. He goes, in order to get past something, you had to just squat down or kneel down. And
Simon's Quest, well, Simon's Quest was a bunch of bullshit. Simon's Quest was not straightforward the way the first Castlevania was. Simon's Quest was like you had to keep going back to certain spots and shit, and everyone talked to you like a fucking brain dead idiot. So you didn't really know what to do unless you had those guides that like you had like an issue with Nintendo Power or shit.
Yeah, Nintendo Power. Yeah,
Yes.
yeah, Chaos White. Yeah,
No internet. Back
yeah.
then, that's right.
Yeah.
Or they had 1-800 numbers if you remember.
Oh my god.
Yes, I remember that.
Yep.
Fucking scammers.
Yep. Scumbags. It's like $4 to just find out how to do something. It's like what the. And your
I
parents
used to
beat you.
just call my friends.
The next thing your dad is choking you, holding the phone bill in the other hand.
You had to go to the newspaper to find out what's showing at the movie theaters, unless
Yep.
of course you go by the movie
Or
theaters.
you would call.
Yeah.
You would call
Yep.
the theater.
Movie phone.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah. I always used to look up in the newspaper.
Yeah, that's what we did.
Yeah.
Holy shit! Remember a TV guide? Jesus Christ!
Oh
Yeah.
yeah. I would love to get my hands on an old school TV guide. My in-laws have one, and I like lust after it every time I see it.
Oh shit. That's some funny stuff. Holy crap.
I'd go to the newspaper and look at the comics section, the comic strips.
You guys remember Slaughterhouse, right?
Yeah.
That game, it was a knockoff of Friday the 13th, except that mask like made you into like this demon essentially. And like he was all hulked out and shit. But that game again, one of the hardest ones. If you die in one part, all the way back to the beginning.
Yeah.
Nightmarish. But hey, we do have other figures to show, and wanted to show this one. I know Trina's been she's been wanting to see this review.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, we got the creature from the Black Lagoon here, the ultimate NECA's ultimate version. And I gotta say, I mean, I did this review. It's a beautiful figure. I think I like the way that the black and white one looks better. I don't know, but again, this is a fantastic figure. You know, I have all of them in color except for the bride. I think she looked better in black and white. But I should have a review for her, I think, next week. But this one, really nicely done. Again, I love it. They got the kind of classic movie posters for the front of these. Great promo shots all around. Yeah, if you want to know who made the figures, there's all their names on there. And I know a couple of those people. I work with a couple of them back at McFarlane. But again, that's why these things are so super detailed, because it's those same people that made, you know, the good McFarlane figures back in the day. And I believe that they still do a lot of traditional sculpting. I'm not saying all their figures are like that, but I know that they do. There is a lot of traditional sculpting that takes place with these. And you can tell these people care about what they're working on.
Yeah, I saw a picture of this one on Twitter the other day. That's fucking nice. I like that.
Yeah, he's incredible, and the articulation is amazing. I'm glad that they kind of stepped it up on that level, because he is a more simple figure for sure. He's casted all in like solid green, and then they did like a dry brush, like this kind of gold.
I see the little gold tint when he's turning right there.
Yeah. So I mean, it is beautiful, and I forgot the woman's name. I should have looked it up again. But the look for the creature, there was like a lot of famous shots of her out there too. I should look that up. All this is on the rotating base.
Are they money shots?
No, but she was pretty famous in Hollywood back then. She worked with a lot of the Millicent Patrick. That's her name. And yeah, I got a photo of her, but I'll show you after this the toy review thing itself. But again, nicely done. The sculpt work is like spot on. These are the accessories he comes with. It's just pretty much alternate hands and 2 alternate heads, and it's just varying degrees of him like opening his mouth essentially. So you'll have the neutral one that's closed, one that's a little open, and one that he's yelling. I think they could have added some kind of like seaweed or something would have been, an extra piece would have been nice on this, because they went all out on the other figures.
Yeah, I agree.
You know,
That was my a little bit of disappointment when I picked the figure up.
yeah.
Well, you
do
gotta
have-
wait to get the box accessory set where they're just gonna have like a fake swamp that you could put them in.
Oh, jeez. They better be the accessory pack. Better be the chick from the movie. How about that?
I know.
You know.
Yeah, because he needs to be carrying her.
Yep.
Well, what if they go ultra cheap and they just put the tent as an accessory?
Oh, Jesus. Yeah, hold on. Why didn't they throw the tent in? I mean, the net.
The net, yeah.
They could have done that.
Yeah, I was gonna say because I have the this guy in the Jada version,
Mhm.
and he has a net. He comes with the net in that one with the harpoon.
Oh, wow. See, I mean, there's other things they could have definitely done. And
Yeah.
my major gripe, you know what it is? Trina, could you guess?
Your major gripe with this one.
Yeah, another thing that they're missing.
Diaphragm cut.
Some kind of flight stand.
Oh yeah,
He's a character who's supposed to be swimming.
yeah, that's true. Yeah,
You know, that bums me out. Like this guy should have came with something like that.
yeah.
The best we have is a really kind of cheap McFarlane one, and I know NECA has their own versions too, and they're so big and clunky and weird looking. But they should have. Someone should have engineered a proper one.
You know what though? I actually have one of those NECA stands, and that's what I used in the Volcanicus review.
Yeah,
and it held that big ass thing up.
I know that thing's so ugly looking though. Like they could have designed something way better.
No, true. I'm just saying for what it is, especially for the price point for that stand.
Yeah,
it does work. I mean,
Yeah.
I'll give them that. It does work. Yeah, it could have been a little better, like smoother looking, but it's fine for what it is. I mean,
for sure. I mean, they could have tossed it in. Why not? They already have them.
He's like, give me that stand.
You're right. He's like, I'm crawling towards you. I want to swim towards you. You son of a bitch. But yeah, I wanted to show the scale too, and I think it's a pretty good scale. The G.I. Joe classified with him because he was more imposing, or he looked imposing anyway. In the
Which
movie.
Joe is that? Is that Torpedo?
Yeah, yeah, Torpedo, the classified ones, and yeah, I'm glad I got him when I did because I never saw him in stores anymore. Like he went Shipwreck. I still see one or two of them here or there, but yeah, this dude. Yeah, he's gone. Him and Rock and Roll. I haven't seen them anymore.
it's funny you should mention Shipwreck. You want to see what I seen in the clearance aisle at Target. Shipwreck.
Yeah.
There was a few of them. Yep.
I figured he was one of the favorite characters, so I guess it's just like, yeah, we'll just put more of him out. That's crazy how they don't balance anything. It's so stupid. But that's Hasbro for you. You know. But yeah, I gotta say this guy, beautiful figure, really, really nice. But yeah, like Tommy was saying too, it's hard to find either one now, the this one or the black and white one. So if you could, yeah, jump on them. Don't sleep on these things. Beautiful, beautiful figure. So yeah, if you are looking for Universal Monsters, or if you are collecting them, yeah, highly recommend these guys. And I will show you before we jump over to Tommy, or if Trina wanted to show anything, I wanted to show you the woman who sculpted, yeah, came up with the design and stuff. So yeah, she did amazing work on this.
Yeah.
And you're sure there's no money shots of her?
I'm not sure. Who knows? Maybe there could be. Maybe they went, you want to be a star? She's like, I just want to work in the art department. Like, I don't know. She kind of looks like the one who played Bride of Frankenstein a little bit. She has similar features, but excellent job with the sculpting on this thing. And I did meet, I guess I met the only one who was still alive, at least at the time, the guy who did all the swimming sequences for the movie, Riku Browning, I think his name is. Was he passed away a couple years ago, but I had met him and he signed one of the pieces that I had I had done a really cool, my version of the creature. And he signed the original artwork, which is pretty cool.
I remember you mentioning that. That's awesome.
Yeah, it is really cool and great to see. It's a shame though he did pass away. But yeah, excellent stuff. Oh yeah, there he is. There he is. That's him. Well, at least when he was young. But he only did the swimming sequences and stuff. Yeah, this was the dude I think who was in the main, all the land parts. But yeah, the guy did all the crazy stuff. That's this dude. So there you go. There's a little history behind that.
Cool.
So yeah. Yeah, Trina, did you have any figures and stuff you wanted to show?
Yeah, I uploaded Friday the 13th Part 7.
Oh, sweet.
Let me grab that.
Oh, Frankie said she was an actress too. That sculptor, that artist. Nice.
Okay.
Here we are. Yeah, he looks really good.
Yeah, this figure is awesome.
I don't have this one.
I'm gonna skip through there.
Yeah, this guy's
I like that.
Yeah, I love the details it's got everything. He's so movie accurate.
Yeah, that's what I love about those guys.
Yeah.
They really do care about a lot of these. They're huge fans. Like I know the sculptors and stuff who worked on them. They're massive fans of these properties.
I really like this figure. I mean, for obvious reasons, he looks awesome. But in like the pelvis area, it's very like slimmed down, and it's not. You know how on other figures it can be a really bulky area.
Yeah, too chunky.
Yeah, and it just kind of looks weird. It looks like a diaper is on it.
Yeah.
This one doesn't look like that at all.
Yeah, it looks good, and I like that they have that diaphragm cut up there too.
Yeah.
Beneath his sternum. So he's got good range of motion.
Yeah, he twists a little bit. And like he bends over a little bit because of the like thigh cuts like up there, up here in the yeah, whatever the thigh like thigh area.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like how they do those joints.
I actually forgot to show a lot of the articulation, but yeah, he's articulated like any other figure. He's good, and what impressed me most was just the look. They've got it like so on point to the movie.
That's awesome. Yeah, the boots look fantastic.
So I just got to ask real quick, Trina. When I was talking about this figure before, did that influence you at all to get it?
Did you review this one already?
Yeah. When the hell was that? Was that last year? I might have reviewed this one. I can't recall. I know I did a review on this one.
Okay.
And I remember telling you about like if you haven't gotten it, you should get it because it's just like it is tremendous. It's a tremendously well done figure.
Yeah.
He was one of the ones that when I was showing off one of the Ash figures, I had to put him next to Ash, and he even scales well with Ash because he's a little bit taller than Ash.
Yep.
Which is really nice.
That is great.
Yeah, it was probably your review that sold me on it.
It really is a beautiful figure, and you're talking about all that detail in there, and like even the soft goods that they use for the jacket, which I think it's perfect. It's perfectly done when they did that because it fits in with the rest of the tattered look to the rest of the figure.
It really does. Yeah, I can't say enough about this figure. It's so well done. I mean, the way that they make, like you can see the flesh on his body, the way it looks kind of rotted, and
Yeah.
it's just so.
Yeah, on top of the detail, like that paint application is just amazing.
It really is.
Because he's glossy in certain parts too, from what I could tell.
Yep.
I mean, that's great. They get like that gooey kind of gross look.
Yeah,
Well,
it really did.
I was going to say real quick, that's one of the things about when we do these reviews. Sometimes the lighting on it doesn't really show like how, I don't want to say wet the figure looks, but it does have that look like he just came out of the water.
Yeah.
Yeah, because usually that like shiny, the shininess doesn't, I don't like it that much, but on this figure, it absolutely
It's
totally
perfect.
works.
Yep. It is. Yeah, it's absolutely beautiful.
Frankie's getting naughty again.
And Frankie said too, going back for a second, that's female sculptor, actress, whatever. She was also one of the first female animators for Walt Disney.
Oh, cool.
That is cool.
I don't know if anybody has Decepticon's link for that or not. I don't know, but if anybody has his link, yeah, if you can, go ahead and vote for him.
Yeah, please do if you could, guys. Nice. Oh, okay. Oh, there's a plug back there too. Nice.
Yep.
That's awesome.
Yeah, they really nailed it with this Jason figure.
Yeah, I like that. Holy crap.
I said it before, and I'll say it again. Like, out of all the Jason figures I've picked up, and I've gotten just about every single one they've put out with the exception of Pamela, this by far, I think, was the best. It was the most well done. Like, everything on this one, it feels right. All the accessories are perfect, and they fit in his hands. Like some of the earlier ones, like Part 3 and 2, and even like 6 and everything. Like there's something about, and Part 4 as well. There's something about the way the hands are made in those ones. It's really hard to get a lot of the stuff into his hands. This one, I didn't have any problem at all putting any of the weapons into his hands. You didn't have any problem either, right?
No, not at all.
Excellent. See, that's good to hear. Soul Assassin, he asked, you have been tempted to repaint the figure you got because a bad factory painting? Yeah. I used to do that, not so much recently, but...
Oh, I got one that both of us would agree needs a repainting.
What's that?
We both have it too. Swamp Thing.
Swamp Thing. Yes, you're right.
Which one? That newer one? The newer McFarlane one?
Yeah, it's a beautiful figure, but he's lacking in paint application. You know, some more dry brushing or even like a wet wash in certain parts. Yeah, it would benefit that figure. Jeez, look at that axe. The way they did the metallic part.
Do you want me to go back to it?
No, it's great. Yeah, I love this stuff. Yeah, if you want, you can go a little bit back.
All right, let me see.
Well, another thing that's really cool about a lot of these weapons, and it's kind of like an afterthought, is they put all the rivets in each one of those weapons handles where it's going through the tang.
Yep. Yeah, those fabricators do an amazing job. They really do. Because like that's all machined. There is the flagpole thing, or the
spike.
That's like a tent spike.
Yeah, like a stake tent. Yeah.
Oh, I thought that's where you put the flags in.
No, that's an anchor a tent down.
Oh, okay.
And like this little knife, it's just a little thing, but it's so impressive because it really looks like a real knife.
Yeah.
With like the tang on the end there, you can see it. Like I just love that.
That is cool.
And then I just go through some of the weapons, and I do these weapons in order of how he uses them in the movie.
That's great. Oh, real quick, the chain around his neck, is that plastic or is that metal?
It is plastic.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I know. It looks like metal.
Yeah, they did such a great job. I know they did it with a few figures back in the day. McFarlane did too. They used actual metal. That's why I was kind of curious, but
yeah, I have a couple of McFarlane figures that have the chains on them.
yeah, it's impressive when they well, either way, this looks great. It doesn't hurt it at all that it's plastic.
Yeah. I just love this one so much.
Yeah, it's damn good.
But yeah,
did you have the one from 6 as well or not?
Which I think so.
That's Jason Lives. That's
Yeah,
the one where
Jason
he's in the all green outfit and with the little pouches around his waist.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but didn't they release him like 3 times? That one?
I know they released it a number of times, and I picked up the last release they did, which was a few years ago, but I think they might have just re-released it again because they're actually going back through the old figures of Jason, and they're starting to bring them back out. Like, as a matter of fact, the part 2 one that I couldn't find anywhere that you found for me,
Yeah.
all of a sudden that's back on store shelves again.
Yeah,
Okay.
saw that.
Because I'm pretty sure I have that 6th one, but I don't know which version I have. It's in one of my bins somewhere.
Yeah, I don't. You know what? I'm not sure if I did the 6 or if I have them and haven't done them yet. I honestly can't remember.
I know it's tricky. Like I said, over the years, like I had some of the McFarlane ones. I've seen some friends who've had these things and stuff too. So I remember holding them in my hands. I do not remember if like some of the ones that like I thought I had this one, but I don't. After watching your full review, I do not have this one.
Yeah, if you see, like if you're looking for a Jason figure and you see him,
Yeah.
I totally recommend him. He is just so good.
Yeah, he looks like one of the best ones out there.
I would like to have an animatronic to put in my yard for Halloween. That's like that.
Oh,
That would be cool.
Oh, I did for Tuesday's stream. Granted, it was late because Century went to suck. But I actually got a chance to film a couple of the animatronics that I have. And the one is like it's a half zombie. So he's from the waist down, he's nothing. But the top hand, he's got the hands so you can put him on a bar or anything, a tree branch. And he's motion activating. He starts, his eyes light up. He starts screaming and shaking and everything. Those things are really cool, but they cost so much damn money.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, no doubt.
Yeah, there's a house down the street from us that fills their yard with like all kinds of Halloween decorations, and they do animatronics and stuff. And I haven't seen them do that this year.
I used to do it every single year, and it just got to be too much with my back, especially having to do it myself since my daughter had moved up north. I can't. I just can't sit there and put all that stuff and then break it back down again. It's just too much.
Yeah, especially if you don't have like trick-or-treaters coming by and stuff like that.
Yeah, that's the thing where we're at. We don't get trick-or-treaters.
Yeah.
Damn. Yeah.
We get a few, but not too many.
We get a good amount, but we live in the city, so.
Yeah. I remember when I was a kid, like, around the neighborhood, they kind of did it. Christmas was the big thing, though, up north. Like, you'd have the houses that were, like, do those competitions and shit, like, outdoing one another with all the lights.
Yeah.
Yeah. That was nuts. A couple of years when we were real small, like, we had, like, the whole nativity scene thing, and then we'd have, like, the Rudolph stuff outside in the front. Like, yeah, it was crazy.
That's awesome.
But there was this one guy up in Jersey that he used to do his entire house. And when I mean his entire house, I mean his entire front lawn, his entire facade of his house on top of the roof. Like, this guy had the biggest Christmas setup that you could ever see. People came from other counties over to see it. And it got so big and it cost him so much money that he wound up converting his shed in the back into a makeshift Santa's workshop and sold like little trinkets and stuff like that to try to offset the cost of the electricity for everything that he was running. And holy shit, was it a setup, man. It was unbelievable how big his setup was.
That's great. Did he do well with that little shop?
I don't recall how well he did, but you know, like all neighbors, they start getting like the newer, younger neighbors start complaining about it, and eventually he had to stop doing it because they wound up passing ordinance laws, and he couldn't put all that shit up anymore.
Oh,
yeah,
that sucks. Damn. Yeah, Tommy, did you have any other figures?
Yeah, I have a couple things. Anybody else have anything, or before
that's
I go?
it for me.
Yeah, I might have something. Go ahead, Tommy.
Oh, okay. All right. It's going to be a two-parter, just to warn you. So after the absolute dismal disappointment that was Volcanicus, I got this other figure, and this is another figure I've been waiting on a long time from NECA. Waiting to get it, I should say. They came out with it a while ago, and I found out they just recently re-released the first version of it, but I wound up picking up this version. Well, you're going to see both. Here we go.
What's going on is we're hanging out with Rorschach, the superhero pig. What's up, Rorschach? Oh, Rorschach's here, and you know what that means. It's superhero related. So we got a couple ones here. One we're going to unbox, and the other one we're just going to take a look at, and I'm going to explain why. From NECA, Eastman Laird's Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. We've got Casey Jones, and then we got Casey Jones in his classic colors. I've actually been waiting to get this one for quite some time, never found any in the stores, and all of a sudden, my stores had not one, but both versions of them sitting there on the shelf. So very happy to be able to get to this one. Now, the reason we're only going to be reviewing one, as you can kind of see on the back here, you see a few different accessories that the red one has that the gray one doesn't. This one actually has an umbrella, and as you can see around the back, there's all kinds of extra stuff behind him. On the gray version, there's literally nothing behind him, because what you see in the front of this package is all he comes with, and it's exactly the same as the red version. So the gray version, you get to sit in the background, and we're going to be taking a look at this one. Here we go. Oh, right out of the package, here we have Casey Jones in his classic colors. This one looks fairly nice. He feels pretty solid. Some of the joints are a little odd, it seems, on this, but I'm not going to know until I really get into posing him whether or not these joints are going to be any good or not. But, I mean, for the most part, everything looks pretty decent with this one. All the cell shading that they did to make it look like it's taken directly from the comic, and all the detail that they have in there. I think this one looks really nice. Like, even the mask looks really good. He does come with a ton of accessories, so after heating up the joints the best that I could, I was able to get some of the joints to move, but I'm going to be honest, the joints on these arms, and especially in the elbows and in the knees, they feel exceptionally weak. I don't know what NECA did on this one, but the joints actually feel flimsy once you start moving them. It feels like they made them out of a cheaper rubbery type of plastic that is just, it feels like it's ready to just rip apart. That is a huge miss. There is tons of articulation in this one, but when you have joints that feel like they may just snap off when you move it, yeah, that is a little bit more than disappointing.
He looks good, though.
And that's just the first part. So I'm just going to go play the second part now, and then we can get into discussing the problems with this one. Because
okay, I thought you were going to shoot him in the backyard with a BB gun.
No, that's actually something else. But yeah, here we go.
Here we go. Casey Jones, couple hands. He's got a bat. He's got a hockey stick in his hand, showing off a little bit of the articulation. Of course, he's got his bag with the rest of his crime-fighting goodies in the back. Once again, this one doesn't look bad, but it's a little bit of the weak joints that are really bothering me in this one. I actually did have some difficulty in standing him up in this big wide pose, because it almost feels like the joints give a little bit. Here we go with Casey with another one of his hands. He's got his golf club in his hand, and he's got his umbrella, and of course that secondary face. He is able to get down to a kneeling position, and it's not rocking. This one is actually pretty stable in a kneeling position, so I am fairly impressed with that. It's just these weak joints on these things. Again, they just, KC also does come with secondary arms. So, of course, you see here's the original arms right there. He comes with these second ones that are all taped up. These arms actually feel slightly better in the joints, but not by much. They are still extremely tight, and I just worry that every time I move them, they're going to snap. That is the one thing that is going to probably hold this figure back from getting a really good review number. It does come with a few more hands that are wrapped up as well, with the ability to hold his mask, because that's another extra in there as well. Overall, this one doesn't look bad. All the extras that they have in this, including the different arms, are fantastic. Where this one falls short is the joints in the knees and the elbows feeling so weak that they feel like they're going to pull apart. The likeness is there. All the accessories with this one are tremendous. A lot more than the gray shirted version. The classic color, I think, looks pretty cool on him. And overall, he's able to get in some pretty good positions. And he looks really nice with the rest of the Eastman and Laird Turtle figures. It's just those joints. Those joints, NECA, do something about it. Don't make soft, rubbery, plastic feeling joints like that. Make them solid like you do with all your other figures. Because the joints on this one feel extremely weak, they feel like they're going to break. The best I can give this one is a 7 out of 10.
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, heroes in a half shell.
Turtle power.
There it is. Somebody always has to say it. Yeah, so we were talking about like some of the rubber stuff that they use on some of these figures and they degrade, but this is the type of rubber that they use on there that's way too soft for a joint like that. Mm-hmm. And no matter how much you heat it up, you could feel it. You could feel like bending when you go to move the arms. Why NECA did that with this line, I have no clue on this particular figure, because they didn't do with Splinter. And Splinter had a lot smaller arms than Casey Jones. They were good, solid joints on him. They didn't do it to Shredder. They did kind of do it with that Foot Ninja, but it wasn't as bad as this one. I don't know where they went wrong, but it's like, oh my God, like the figure is beautiful. Mm-hmm. It's got chest movement. It's got a waist turn. It's got all the movement in the arms, like even the kick up for the double jointed knees. Like I got the one leg to move fairly easy. It kicked all the way up. You just about kicked himself in his ass. Nice. Had the rocks down at the feet. It had the freaking pivots. It does have limited head movement. I think that's because of the hair sculpt. Mm-hmm. But everything else in this figure, it looks fantastic. But it's those freaking horrible joints on this thing that just drove me absolutely bananas. However, he did get a better score than Volcanicus. So I guess that's a comeuppance.
Yeah, I'd say so. At least it went up a bit.
But I mean, you're looking at those two figures cost the exact same price of $34. Look how much more you get with the classic one.
Yeah, that's crazy, man. I don't know how they're pricing these things lately.
Is there a fix for loose joints like that?
The problem is it's not so much loose as they're weak. It's the material they use in the middle of the joints.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's the problem. Because some of those things you got to be very, very careful with. Like even like the Chun-Li one that I have, the way they did the pin that goes on the ankle, it goes like in an angle into her foot, but the back part of it is kind of loose. Like, well, not loose. There's like an empty space basically. Like it should have been more secured in there. But a lot of these companies will make silly kind of like mistakes like that. Mm-hmm. And depending too, if it's a really tight joint, you could have some issues. If it's more of like a smooth flowing kind of joint, it'll be all right. But again, depending on the plastic that you use, yeah, those type of things could.
Yeah,
snap.
I mean that's the problem with this one. It was the plastic they used for the middle of those joints. Like everything else on this was like amazing. Like I was a little bit worried about the joints on the shoulder when I pulled out the arms because they were extremely tight. But I got them out and new ones popped right in and was able to pop the other version out and put the original ones back in. No problem whatsoever. The wrist movement and everything like that on the hands, absolutely perfect. Like I said, just the elbows and the knees. Like I swear, like when you go to turn them, you could feel them like wanting to turn sideways and just like want to start stretching. It's bad. I don't know what they did, but it's really bad. Like if they would have got these joints right on this one, I could have easily given this one at least a good solid 9 out of 10. I don't think it quite hits a 10 out of 10, but it was pretty damn close. Like all the accessories are fairly well done too, even down right to the bag that goes across his back and everything. You could store all those damn weapons in there. All that was fantastic. It was just the joints. Just one simple thing like that with the joints, like being cheap and using a substandard plastic on those joints.
Mhm.
Yeah. It sucks when they do that. I still don't understand why. I don't know. They're all morons. They got beautiful stuff and cheap plastic like that. That's no good. And they've been around for such a long time. They should have known better.
Oh, they absolutely should have.
Yeah.
That's disappointing. But again, I don't know why they do that. Like the Ultimate lines, they do differently than all their other lines. I don't know. Like the ones.
Tommy, Vinny, I got a question for both of you. Is it possible that these action figures were shipped in high heat and the heat expanded and maybe caused the joints to fail?
I would have said yes, but I'm saying absolutely no on this for one reason. Because if it was just that, it would have affected the wrists. It would have affected something else. It wouldn't have only just been the elbows and the knees.
Yeah, I mean that type of stuff does happen. But if they're brand new like that, not necessarily. It's a little trickier for that type of stuff to happen. But if it does, it'll be like with a company that is like brand new. It doesn't really know what they're doing. Because I know that happens from time to time. But these plastics are supposed to be designed. The PVCs and stuff that they use, they should last a longer time and be more durable than what they are. And for some reason, I don't know, like it's like the female figures too, they do that on a lot, or overly stylized ones. They'll use a way different plastic than they would for someone who's a bigger figure. And I don't understand the rhyme or reason for it, unless they do want them to break. So you go back to the store and buy more. I don't know. But these are already expensive as they are. And they should be giving us top quality every time.
You know what's funny here, Vinny, talking about this figure? Like I was saying, the look for the comic is there and everything like that. But some of the way the joints felt in this one, it felt like that other one that I got where they were doing the cartoon version.
Yeah.
The cartoon version also had like extremely weak joints like that. I'm thinking that they reused some of the joints from the cartoon one that they already did instead of creating a whole new molds and everything. I think they've reused the joints from that freaking cartoon version that was super cheap.
That
makes
sounds
sense.
like it. Yeah. I mean, these companies do that a lot. You know, especially like NECA. They even some figures like they'll redo, but other times they'll kind of use the same, like you said, the same problems we'll see. I don't know why, but I guess it's just kind of laziness and they're saving some bucks. It stinks, you know, especially with a line like this, because like you said, they're more the comic book, accurate ones. So you want them to be, you know, in that collection. People are like very happy to get those. You know, it's a shame.
What's up, Chris? Break like those McFarlane Spawn samurai figures in my collector's case.
See, that's exactly it. I brought this up in the past too. I've had a number of those older McFarlane figures. That same deal. I had a couple of those samurai ones. They don't last. They will crumble. I remember when Chris, he goes, "Oh, I have some of them." He literally had them in a box. He lifted up. He started showing it. As soon as he moved like an arm or a leg, boom, it just snapped. Boom, another one just snapped. He went, "What kind of cheap shit?"
Damn.
Classic.
Well, you know what? I feel we've we've nitpicked that NECA enough for that one. I'm going to show one other figure. There's a toy break there that I can play afterwards, whatever. But I want to try to bring the atmosphere up a little bit for NECA, not by much, because this figure kind of misses a little bit too, but it misses for a different reason. So you ready to have the NECA mood brought up just slightly?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, here we go.
Woe to you, O earth and sea, for the devil sends the beast with wrath, because he knows the time is short. Let him who hath understanding reckon the number of the beast, for it is a human number. Its number is 666.
Hey everybody, what's going on? And welcome back. We're getting into Pigween time. We're hanging out with Stripe, the horror icon pig. Getting ready to show off something that is kind of horror related. Well, technically. So, from NECA 40th anniversary figure, we have the newer version of the Number of the Beast. We got Eddie from Iron Maiden. Now, I know Amazon had released this one earlier, and it wasn't exclusive to Amazon, and there was something about the way Eddie's face looked on that one I just couldn't stand. It almost made him look like he had buck teeth. But this one, it looks like they've made some improvements on the way the face of the figure looks like. It doesn't look like they did anything with the articulation, but let's go ahead. We're going to get this one out and take a look at it. So, right out of the box, here we go with Eddie. I will say that while the face on this one does look a lot better, there is literally, like, you got arm movement here. You got a turn right here at the elbow. There's a pivot right there as well. He does have movement here at the wrist. A little bit of rock in that wrist. There is a little bit of a diaphragm cut right here, and it kind of like extends down to the back, but that is pretty much all he has. So he can kind of turn a little bit, but he can't really move, and the legs are completely fixed in place. These legs do not move at all. There's a little bit of rock down here in the feet, not a whole lot, just barely enough to get him to stand, and there's a little bit of head turn and movement here. We got the little devil guy that he comes with as well. This one does not stand at all. The figure itself has no moving parts except for the head. The head moves a little bit. Maybe the wings? Yeah, the wings do move. The wings actually move quite a bit. They're actually on hinges and everything like that. Here we go with Eddie. The fire base that he's got here with the devil and everything set up like it should be on the album cover. It does come with one more accessory. He comes with a little devil head. This is a really cool figure to have. Because of lack of articulation, the best I'm going to be able to give this is a 7 out of 10.
That's awesome.
Well, I'm going to say I love it. Yeah, with that slasher?
I like it. Yeah, I like it too.
Yeah, I love it. I actually got that a little while ago. I can't remember when, but yeah, I'm glad you reviewed it because I'm happy with it, to be honest.
Well, you know what, and like I kind of agree with everybody in the chat. It's a bit of a dud for a couple different reasons. Now, number one, the devil cannot stand on his own without that damn base. He cannot stand whatsoever. That is horrible. I mean, granted, they gave him the pitchfork that you could put in his hand or not put in his hand. His wings do move and his head moves ever so slightly, but it's really hard to get him to look up. So when you got him sitting on that base, he still kind of looks like he's pointing straight down. If they would have put just even a small modicum amount of turn into his hip so you could like lean him up just a little bit more so you could see him more when you're putting him in that position on the base and everything, I think that would have improved at least the devil figure. Eddie, I think they could have put cuts in the legs just a little bit, just to turn him to stand him up a little bit more too, instead of that weird stretched out, hunched over look. Mm-hmm. While it's not bad for looking like the album cover, which once again, if you want a figurine, basically that's what this is. It's a figurine with movable arms and everything, and a little bit of movement in the back. Other than that, it's supposed to be a figure. It should have a little bit more movement than that. I mean, the likeness is absolutely there. I mean, they did a killer job with all the shading and everything else that they did to make it look like the album art cover.
Mm-hmm.
But the loss right there is in the lack of movement in this thing, especially if you wind up having any warpage like with that devil. So warped so badly that he cannot stand at all without that base. To me, that is just a big freaking miss. Just a big miss.
Yeah. Okay, so did it come with those bases?
Yeah, it comes. Everything that I showed there is what it comes with.
Okay.
It's a great display, the whole setup.
Yeah, I gotta say I love it.
Hey, Vinny, are there any action figures that have double joints, like double jointed?
There's a ton of them.
Oh, how come they didn't give that one to the Iron Maiden figure? Because that you would think, the devil would be double jointed.
Well, I think something like that, again, since it's based off of like the artwork of the album, they went like old school McFarlane style, so he's gonna be more of a statue anyway. I think that's the only reason why they did that.
Mm-hmm.
It's probably one of their what do you call it, restrictions.
It could be, but it could also just be their choice as well. Because I know like those guys at NECA, they have all sorts of different ones. Like he's not called an ultimate figure, right? Mm-hmm. What's the theme of that one, Tommy?
I thought that was an ultimate because it's in an ultimate box and everything.
I don't know.
Well, I just know it's part of their 40th anniversary and everything. It does feel more like a figurine. I mean, if you want something to recreate the artwork from the album, this is good for that. It's absolutely perfect for that if that's what you want it for. But if you want something that maybe you can get some different poses and maybe like showing off the devil head and everything, which the devil head is like it's a pain in the ass to fit in his hand. The fire fit perfectly in his hand. The devil's head I had a hard time getting it to sit properly. But yeah, I mean, as a figurine, it's great. But if you're talking about as an action figure,
no,
or something that's supposed to have more posability, I think this one lacks just a little bit. And like I said, I'm not knocking the choices that they made to make it look like the album cover. I just wish they would have added more in there for the eventuality that some of these figures might be warped in transit, in packaging, because it happens because they're putting some of those damn stupid plastic ties on again, which pull the figures down into certain poses. And I'm pretty sure that's why the leg on the devil was so warped out of place, because of the way the plastic ties were pushing them down inside the freaking bubble. If they would have just had a little bit of movement, just a very modicum amount of movement in those legs, it would have alleviated that problem.
Yeah, sounds like it.
Do you think would applying some heat help it?
It might. I just, because of the paint applications that they have on that one, I'm actually worried about bubbling that paint application on there.
Okay.
But yeah, so Slasher, did you have anything? Oh, he's gonna be right back. Because I thought you mentioned that he had something too.
Okay,
yeah.
Well, while we're waiting on him, I'll just play the toy break.
Sure.
You know what this one is, Vinny, because you're going to be getting one of them soon enough. So until Slasher gets back, here we go with the toy break, people.
Yeah.
And for you G.I. Joe guys, Stalker, Tomox, Zaymont, all priced at $4.99. I don't know about the other Ollies, but this one is stocked with them. I'm sitting here in Ollie's, and Snake Eyes the movie figure still can't move. Marked all the way down to $4.99 now. And they got tons of these things. They're everywhere. They even have more of them over here. More of them down there. More of them down there.
That's pretty funny.
It's just hilarious. Like, a lot of people sleep on that store, man. I have found some incredible deals at freaking Ollie's and seen some of those figures. Hey, what's up, man?
Yeah. Hey, Chris, how you doing, buddy? We got RR in the chat as well. How you doing, guys?
What up, R? We also got Alexandria Ocasio Cortez, fat tits in the chat.
I don't think Tomax and Zaymot should ever be sold separately. I think those two fucking guys always should come in a 2-pack together. You shouldn't sell them separately.
Well, there's something they did do something cool with them anyway. If you put their boxes together, they form the full Cobra insignia on the side.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm just saying, like, those are characters that should always come together.
Should be in 2-packs.
Yeah.
I tell you what, for $4.99 a figure though, I'm not knocking that.
Dude, that is amazing.
Well, all right. It's good that they're at those prices because you could get the two of them for cheap. You know, that's cool.
Amazing. So it was just those 3 figures out of the main classified line.
Well, they still have Lady J all over the place. She's still everywhere. I know a couple other people, and we were talking about this in the green room, a couple other people that go out to these Ollie stores. They were showing off videos where they had Zorana for $4.99 at Ollie's. And I'm like, wow, I haven't seen that one in any of my Ollies. I'd like to see that because I wanted that figure for $4.99. I'd probably get that one, maybe get an extra too.
It's a beautiful figure for sure. Yeah, you could do custom work and stuff. A lot of people do that. I gotta say though, the Scarlet movie Snake Eyes thing, whatever, that Scarlet figure is a nice one. I think I like that better than the regular G.I. Joe classified Scarlet.
Are you saying something, Benny? Because my store is obviously loaded with them.
No, I haven't.
Okay.
I'm telling you, she's a good figure. That's what I was saying. Yeah, I have that one, and the Snake Eyes in that line's a good figure too. I think I reviewed him. I got him on a discount, but not at $4.99. That's incredible.
Yeah. Nice. See, Red Dress knows. Good stuff. Cheap.
Yeah, Chris, if you could keep an eye out for, or not that Chris, this Chris, Red Dress Press. Keep an eye out for Zorana for Tommy. Oh shit! Or film your toy aisle next time you go.
Yeah, really. Like, holy crap, man. Every time we go by that place and we stop in there for something, I always like go down the toy aisles and go check out, see what they have.
Yeah.
Because those kind of deals, I mean, shit, if I can walk out of there with like $34, $35 worth of toys, I'm walking out with a big bag. If I go to Target, I'm walking out with one figure.
Yeah, pretty much. Holy crap. But yeah, Chris, you're right. It is the same figure, just with the mirrored parts.
And their hairs were parted different ways too.
Basically on the
hairline was going the other way.
Yeah, the G.I. Joe classified. That's it. Yeah, they swapped the chest piece parts and the heads. They're totally different.
Well, no, wasn't there a mirror effect on their feet too, on their boots? Like, wasn't there a mirror effect on the boot design
on the old school ones?
Yeah, I thought there was for some reason.
I don't know, but what they came with a zip line though, right?
Yeah,
I think they came with a zip line.
I had that. It was great. We took off the regular like cheap shit that they had, and we had like this awesome like a spool of this black really sturdy string from Alcatraz, and it was my grandfather had it somehow. I don't know how he got it, but yeah, we shot it across like the room. It was fantastic.
I never had those guys.
Oh yeah, they were great. Those were awesome figures. Yeah. Way back in the day. I'm surprised they didn't add that the zip line for the new ones. They could have done that. Would have been awesome. Yeah, Slasher, did you have a figure you wanted to show?
I got something old school.
Yeah, man.
I have a bucket over here, full of balls. Anyone want to see some balls?
Mad balls?
Not too many over here. I don't remember all their names. All right, this is I'm pretty sure this guy's name is Dustbrain.
Yep, Dustbrain.
Yeah.
These are all the original ones. I do have a later one. I didn't take it out of the package, but I think I fucking stabbed them in the face with a thumbtack or something. I don't remember.
Yeah, these things are
Right.
awesome.
Yeah. These are also, some of these are way more beat up than the other ones.
You mean played with?
Oh yeah, thrown at the wall and shit.
Screaming
Screaming
Mimi.
Mimi.
Yeah.
Yeah, you see his nose? He hit the wall quite a few times.
Yeah, these are amazing. I love them. A couple of years ago,
I didn't get these off eBay. These are from when I was
when you were a
kid.
That's great. I know that Toys R Us, before they went out of business, they released a couple of new ones, and I have a Predator one.
I see that.
I have the
There's
Jason
a
one.
Jason one too. There was a Jason
Yeah,
and an alien.
I got the Jason one, but they did Hellraiser. I think they did Freddy
They
Krueger.
did those with they did the same shit with the muscle figures too. They re-released a bunch of muscle figures like that. What's Skullface? I think he's Skullface. Look at he took a beating.
Yeah, man. I used to love these things.
I don't remember his name. I don't remember this guy's name. Some of these are in a lot better condition than others.
Slobulus, I think his
This
name
guy's
was.
missing parts of the back of his head. But look, you got the plate on the back of his head.
Yeah, I had these guys too, man.
Yeah, I think his name was Slobulus.
This one has the best name. I remember his name. There's no forgetting this guy's name. Crackhead. His name is Crackhead. Oh look, I stabbed him in the face too.
You know they changed that name.
I'm not surprised.
Yeah, to Hunter.
Pretty accurate.
And this was one of the later ones. I don't remember his name too, but he's in like the best condition. He's not scuffed up at all.
I've never seen that one.
Me neither.
Yeah. And I have Oculus over there, the eyeball, but he's holding up fucking Globulus because Globulus can't stand. Yeah, hang on.
He's leaning on him. Crack brain.
Yeah, this one is the most fucked up one.
Oh wow, yeah.
But you know, the back of them's all right.
Yeah. The front.
So when I was throwing them at stuff, I was really getting I was accurate with what I was trying to fucking hit because I was trying to hit the fucking eyeball.
Slasher, did you have any of the figures?
I wish I did because I saw those later on. I never.
Oh, those things are great.
Yeah, I know.
They had
they
had a little action. Well,
yeah, they had like
little action
popping
lever.
heads, right? They had like
they
these
shoot
pop
off.
their heads out. Yeah, I didn't even see them in my local toy store where I got these.
Wow.
I have a few of them still somewhere buried in the multitude of freaking crates in the
It
toy
looked
room.
awesome, though.
Maybe
I will
in
say
the
that.
garage. Yeah, they were great.
I remember the commercials.
Yeah. I had one or two of those, the actual toy ones.
So are those? No.
They're like foam.
Okay,
Yeah.
I was gonna ask if they were hard or
They're not very bouncy. They're not like those old school blue rubber balls that would like ricochet everywhere you fucking threw them. They're not like those at all.
Yeah, they're like a harder foam that has like that paint job on top of it. That's why you see like they're all chipped away and
It's something just to bean at something. It's
Yeah.
like, just so you can fucking throw something at it.
yeah. Regis Press said it. He played with his balls too much when he was a kid.
No, since everybody kept mentioning, well, a few people.
Yeah, they're
mentioned
worn.
it.
My balls are worn out. They're very worn out.
A few people mentioned in the chat, so we'll go ahead and bring this up for anybody that doesn't know.
Sure, but I didn't
So
know
it was kind of like, yeah, it was kind of like a spin off of Muscle.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, I see
yeah.
these. About $50 for 4 of them. Jesus.
So they really had kids saying, "I've got I got a monster in my pocket."
Yep. I didn't
these
know
things
that they
were
had
probably
an,
going for like.
Well, just a few years before that, you say I have mad balls.
This is true.
Well, I was going to say that these things were probably going for $1.99 or less
Yeah.
at KB store at one point.
Yeah. Are they firm? Yeah, but I didn't know that they made an NES game, Monsters in My Pocket.
Yeah. It was actually not bad.
Oh,
I played it once or
interesting.
twice. Wasn't bad.
Yeah, that's right. Chris, Pokemon. Yeah.
Oh, crazy.
Yeah,
I
I
had a lot
Monster
of
in my
G.I.
pocket.
Joe figures at one time, but they all fell apart because they had that rubber
Rubber band.
band in the middle,
Yeah.
holding the body together.
I have a shit ton of repaired ones.
Yeah. What is it? What's that ring that you guys get at the hardware store?
Rubber
O-ring.
rubber
The
O-ring
O-ring.
gasket. Yeah. You can buy a big
O-ring.
giant box of them for like $5, and you could repair all your GI Joes into the end of time.
O-ring.
Well, it's for faucets.
It works.
and stuff like that. That's literally what it's called. It's called a rubber gasket O-ring.
I know.
I got to replace the O-ring in my GI Joe.
Well, at least you're not replacing the other ring in the back end.
That's what. That's what.
Yeah, Trina's broken.
Yeah, we did
You
that.
wanna-
We did that to the other Tom earlier.
You want to know something about repairing GI Joes, the old school ones? Sometimes the screw is rusty, so you got to use some oil.
Yeah, most of the time I'm more.
It's a
We used to
very
play in the snow
sexual
with those.
experience repairing GI Joes.
Yeah.
You know what? Here's what I found to actually get those rusted screws. I think I mentioned this to Vinny before. So if you have a wood burning tool or a soldering iron, heat up the screw, and then just put a rubber band down before you put your screwdriver up to the damn screw. It'll come right out.
Oh, nice.
All this talk about screws and O-rings. Jesus.
Mm-hmm.
So
Trina's
much,
getting all worked up.
so much for the PG-13 stream tonight.
It's all went right down the drain, Vinny.
Yep.
It wasn't my fault. I swear it
most
wasn't.
certainly did.
And
Okay.
and all the balls I played with too much that are worn out.
Right on camera too.
It lasted 2 hours.
I showed my worn out balls on camera.
All I know is I got a lot of balls.
And Toys After Dark stream coming soon.
Oh man, I could say something, but I'm not gonna.
Oh shit.
No, I'm not gonna. I'm gonna be good on Vinny's channel.
This was a fun one though, guys.
It
Guys
is.
and girl. I think we
Yeah.
we had a pretty good
It's
time.
okay to say guys.
Well, yeah. It's,
Hey, you guys.
hey, you guys.
Sound like some of those other YouTubers that cling to their outdated philosophy of always believing the director.
Anybody else have any problems with nicotine stains on Millennium Falcon? Because I got one that's like yellow.
Oh wow.
Oh man,
Yeah.
what did your parents smoke in the house or something?
Yeah.
You didn't even have to have parents who smoked. Those old school Star Wars toys would, they weren't really. They looked awesome for the time, but like, yeah, a lot of yellowing going on. Like I
Well,
had
here's the
yellow
biggest question.
stormtroopers.
Here's the biggest question: do you have a lot of the original stickers on it?
Oh, no.
Well,
No.
yeah.
If-
Do you
if
have
there-
the
if
top
there's-
of it?
Well, if you don't have any stickers or anything like nothing that you're worried about destroying, here's the easiest solution. So you get a big bin, you pour some hydrogen peroxide into it, lay it into the container with the hydrogen peroxide, put a cover on top of it, and put it out in the sun. It'll take all the yellowing out.
Isn't that like what is that? Bright light or something, white bright or something like that the people use.
If you put it out in sunlight, sunlight is the best thing to do it, because what it is it's the bromine that they used to put in the plastics that is breaking down. It's like a fire retardant. So when it starts breaking down over the years, that's why you wind up getting the yellowing. So it's really funny. If you leave those figures in the sun, they will yellow. But if you put them in a bucket with hydrogen peroxide that's sealed off and put it back in the sun, it will take away the yellowing. I've done it on multiple figures. Like I've had a bunch of old Transformers. You remember the Transformers when they came out with the second year in '85? They wound up re-releasing a lot of the original mini cars, and then they included what was called mini spies with them. Well, some of the mini spies were pure white, and they yellowed up really easy. So I took one of those just to test to see, if it worked, and it absolutely did work. It made it like pure white again.
Wow.
I think I left it out there for like 12 hours or so in the sun in a sealed bucket with hydrogen peroxide, and all the plastic turned white again.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's what Retro Bright is. I just looked it up. It's
Okay.
pretty much hydrogen peroxide based.
That's cool.
Yeah, you can use it you can use hydrogen peroxide in your laundry as well to brighten whites.
Put a little baking soda and peroxide on your toothbrush and brighten your teeth.
Yeah.
Well, here's another little tip for anybody who has something like that's yellowed in. If you have a lot of the original stickers, because there's something about having an old figure or an old toy that's got the original stickers in. You can get repro label ones from like Toy Hacks and a few of these other companies that look damn near like the original ones, but having the original ones on there is something special. So if you have something like that and you want to de-yellow this stuff, they actually do stuff in. It's you got to buy from some places supplies hair salon products, and basically what it is a gelled form of hydrogen peroxide.
Yeah, yeah.
It'll stick exactly where you want it, and then put it out in the sun, and it'll whiten up all that plastic where you put the gel.
Yeah, they use that for hair coloring.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, it's called if you go to a hair supply place, you want to ask for a developer. That's what it's called.
Yep.
So I know what it is. I just didn't know the name. Thank you.
Now you know.
Yeah.
And knowing's half the battle. The other half is violence. G.I. Jose.
Yeah.
Oh, violence. You want some violence? I didn't have to play it. Do you want me to play it?
What are you gonna play?
I've got one more clip I could play, and it includes violence. Since you like violence, okay, guys. Here I'm going to roll out with the last one for the night, and we're going to have a little bit of violence. So we seen what happened to Sergeant Ruck in the last video after I did Crepitus, and he actually survived. I still can't believe that damn thing survived all those shots, even with the 1377 pellet.
Did you shoot Volcanicus?
No, but I did find something else to shoot. And it's Hasbro product. Okay. A little disappointed at the results, but there was damage, so I was kind of happy with that. So here we go.
Welcome back, guys. Get ready to do another video shoot. Or is that shoot something in a video? Anyway, you remember Ruck? You remember Crepitus? Well, now we're going to take a look at something from Hasbro. So I picked up this guy at Ollie's for a whole whopping $1.99 from the rescue box. We've got Bumblebee. Yeah, this one looks pretty damn silly. He's got a kind of auto transformation ability where you pull up his head and his arms come out like, woohoo, look at all that $1.99 glory right there. This one is probably about the same type of plastic that they use on the Buzzworthy Bumblebee lines and the Rise of the Beast figures. So I think this guy is going to be perfect for what we have in store for him. You ready to take some Decepticon shots, Bumblebee? Hell yeah. Here we go, guys. There is Bumblebee calling Red Rider. Calling Red Rider.
You'll shoot your eye out, kid.
You'll shoot your eye out! You'll shoot your eye out!
We'll go with the last shot. We're going to make one more headshot. So we got them back in. We're going to inspect for damage. So you can see right here, there's an indentation right here. There's one right here. There's one right here. There are actually multiples in his face. There's an indentation shot right here at the bridge of his nose. There's one here on the top of his head, and then there's another one right under his left eye in the corner. Took a whole bunch of indent hits, but did not shatter. I am actually shocked. We're going to have to come back next week with a more powerful BB gun, the 1377. We're going to try again.
Damn, that little bastard.
Okay, Megatron.
That little bastard could really take a beating. Holy shit.
Well, after I checked them out, the plastic on that, believe it or not, is actually a little bit sturdier than the Rise of the Beast things.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm thinking that's why this thing survived. Tommy executing his toys like he said. Why did anybody see the sides of his kid, right? Yeah, but I mean, it did take a lot of damage. There was every single shot. I actually missed one. There was actually one on the right side of his chest when I got inside and put the light to it. So all seven shots created big dings in the entire body of that figure. And I think that really kind of shows the quality of the dollar store toys. Because the $1 store toy, I shot him with about 10 shots from the Red Ryder BB gun. Then I shot him with the 1377 that pumps up like 20 times or whatever the hell it is. It pumps up and it gets extremely powerful. I think goes like 3 or 4 soda cans easily in one shot. Did not do any damage with all those BB guns when I shot it last week. This one, every single shot from the Daisy Red Ryder, which is the least powerful BB gun I have, every single shot dented the hell out of the shit. I think one shot from that 1377 is going to blow through this thing like Swiss cheese.
The easy RRs of that Chinese plastic withstood the Red Ryder.
Yeah, right.
Oh, shit.
But I did see a couple of the
made him to proper specs.
I did see at Ollie's. I seen a 3-pack of Rise to the Beast Buzzworthy Bumblebee type figures, but I wasn't paying, even on discount, it was still $19. And I wasn't paying $19 to take the thing outside and shoot it. I mean, if it was like $10 for 3 figures to shoot at, I'd have been like, yeah, okay, sure. But 19, nah. You gotta draw a line somewhere.
You gotta watch out though, Tommy. The ricochet off the barbecue could hit a Prius and kill someone.
We could only hope, because they shouldn't have been driving that thing in my neighborhood to begin with.
Oh shit!
No pigs were harmed in the shooting of that toy.
Yeah.
Yeah, but Bumblebee was.
Oh.
He wasn't harmed.
It sounds like she wanted that figure.
Bumblebee was chilling. He wasn't like fucking that poor Final Faction guy who lost his head after the second massacre.
Yeah, he was decapitated.
Bumblebee looks like a tough little bastard. Holy shit.
Right? I'm telling you, I do not see this thing surviving the 1377. I was actually shocked that it survived the Red Ryder. Ruck took one shot, took his head clear off. The other one put a hole through his chest and blew his back apart. Bumblebee is not going to survive the 1377. I will guarantee it. So tune in next week when we shoot Bumblebee to death.
Oh my god. That's kind of glorious, you know?
Oh man.
You know what? I was actually thinking about buying a couple of those freaking Black Series figures like Ponda Baba. My store has probably about 200 Ponda Baba figures from the Black Series, like the little square box ones for like $4.99. I really was considering picking one of them up and taking that outside and shooting that to death too.
Damn.
I was thinking about it. But then I was like, you know what? That means like Disney's still going to get like 75 cents for that figure.
Well, we got a Transformers clip just for that as well.
Hey, Prime! What do you think Megatron's going to do to Starscream?
Nothing gentle, I would say.
The maniacal laughter.
Right? They made a joke that he's gonna be taking him
Yeah.
his backside.
Nothing.
Yeah,
It's mental.
RR says he must have been from that batch meant to stay in China.
Yeah, right. Holy crap! But yeah, I hope everyone had a great time tonight. Anything else anyone wanted to showcase or talk about? Or are we gonna wrap it up? I guess we'll wrap it up. Yeah, we went over 2 hours. Oh yeah, and yeah, ETAP. He's got he's doing the first Jason movie tonight, the original one, the Friday the 13th Part 1. That should be at 11:30. So yeah, I'll probably end up popping up on that one too. Don't know if I'm going to see the whole movie, but yeah, come check it out. Hang out with us. It's always a good time. We'll have some laughs, and yeah, doesn't Kevin Bacon get killed in that too?
Yep.
Yeah. So everyone, come join us in a little bit. We'll do a toy raid or something. But in the meantime, yeah, I hope everyone does have an awesome night. We're going to throw it around the horn here for you folks. If you could find them, come find them. We got Trina over here with Real Horror. Yeah. Let them know what's up.
Well, thanks for having me on. It's always a It's always a blast being on these with you guys. Yeah, you can catch me on my channel at Real Horror, REEL, and we just had fun reviewing Friday the 13th Part 7 last night. So if you missed that, check that out. And I did the NECA figure of Jason for that movie. That's up on my channel as well. You can check that out. Otherwise, you see me here on Vinny's channel and Tommy's channel. And there is a video on ETEP's channel right now of, well, actually, there's a couple that he and I did a review on. The first one was Phantasm, the Phantasm franchise, and then the second one is the Hell House franchise. So those are up. Check those out. Otherwise, hope you all have a great night.
Hell yeah. Yeah, check those out. It's going to be a great time. That's for sure. Thank you for being here. And yeah, and definitely watch the review we did for Part 7. That was a lot of fun.
Mm-hmm.
Great times as always. You know, yeah, thank you so much, Trina. And I saw that Chris said that, yeah, on the next episode of Transformers, Robo-Rectal Prolapse.
Well, like Trina said, it was a bang.
Yeah, right? And yeah, there's no way in hell ETAP would be playing the remake. Of course, it's just the original. Oh, man. Yeah, that's going to be a good time, though. I mean, again, I love the original movies. They were so good. Especially like the opening of 2, like that really throws you for a loop, especially if you haven't even, you're just getting into these things. That opening was crazy with the refrigerator.
Yeah.
Soul Assassin mentioning House 2. I really like the first one too.
I'm not sure if I've seen those.
Oh, the house, it's got the picture of like the chopped off hand on the doorbell, ding dong, you're dead.
Yeah.
Oh, nice. That's cool.
That was fun.
I'm making my way through the Saw movies. Oh, I'm sorry, Shirok, go ahead.
That's a fun movie. The house, the first house I've seen. I haven't seen the second one.
Oh, okay. When did those come out?
80s.
80s.
All right.
Remember the Greatest American Hero?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's the star in the first. I don't remember the second one. I know I've seen, but I don't. Is he in it? I can't even remember. I must have been really stoned when I was watching.
Nice. Well, we're gonna throw it over to you anyway, buddy. Yeah, let them know where they can find you. Anything else you'd like to say?
Yeah. Thanks for letting me chill out. Always fun discussions with these toy chats.
Yeah, dude.
Doing another movie review on Saturday. A movie called Intruder from 1989.
Intruder. Who's the stars in that one?
Well, all right. See, like I was saying before, like sometimes I see a movie and I'm a little high, and I don't. I saw this one once, probably about like almost 10 years ago.
Yeah.
So I'm doing that again on my channel. Maybe I could remember it this time. According to the poster, Bruce Campbell was in it, and
Oh, sweet.
Sam Raimi had something to do with it.
Yep.
Oh, excellent.
So yeah,
Nice. All right.
I'm not the most professional of professionals.
Oh, we're all just having fun here anyway. There ain't no.
Yeah, thanks for letting me chill out, man. It's always fun.
Yeah, dude. Anytime, man. Hell yeah. Speaking of which, we're gonna throw it on over to Tree Rock. So yeah, let everyone know where they can find you and anything else you'd like to spit out there for the folks.
Yeah, well, I'm on over at Rumble. I'm not on YouTube very much anymore, except for live streams, and that might even change because you know how the censorship is going.
Yeah.
But yeah, I try to cut up some movie clips and stuff like that, and make some mashups to get some people to laugh over my channel. And it's Tree Rock Creations, all one word, and you can search in Rumble, and you can find. I got 4 channels.
Oh wow.
They're all mine. And I try to do that because some people might not like mashups, but they might like commentary. And I'm going to try to do a lot of things. So I'm trying to label all those channels
Oh, that's
that
cool.
people can subscribe to the channel they want.
Yeah. That sounds good.
I also got some animation that I've been trying to work on and getting tightened up. I'm kind of a perfectionist when it comes to animation because I don't want to put out crap. There's a lot of people that do that. They just throw stuff out there.
Yep.
So I'm still learning with a few things on animation. And I'm getting close to releasing my first animated short, which will be about a couple of minutes, but I still think I'm a couple of months away.
All right. Well, that's cool, though. That's very awesome to hear. Oh, yeah, man. Dude, thank you for being on today.
Oh, thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
Oh, yeah. Sweet. And we're going to throw it on over to, of course, the pig himself. Tommy.
And that all day long, I put up a dog's ass. Just bang, bang, bang up his ass. That's my pleasure.
Hey everybody! Thanks for coming in. Thanks for hanging out with us. Thanks for listening to us rant, listening to us roar, listen to us get really sad about some of these horrible figures and the terrible O-rings. The terrible O-rings, Chris, that were in certain figures. No, seriously, thank you guys. It's always fun to have you guys in here and add to the conversation. Without you, this is just not as much fun. I really do appreciate every time you guys come out and you take part in these streams. And thanks for coming along and having fun with us while we're sitting here talking about things that we like. I mean, we could do like everybody else does, and we could be misery tubers and just whine about, well, my poor feeties hurt because I watched this shit from this terrible company, which I've been telling you for years sucks, and now I'm going to complain about this new show from this horrible company. Well, why would you watch it in the first place if you said the company was horrible? Oh my God, these people need to get their heads out of their asses. I just can't stand them anymore. They're so freaking retarded. I wanted to say it, Vinny. I'm trying to cut down on the big F words on your channel. My channel, who gives a rat's ass? Anything goes because they're never going to monetize this big. They hate my guts. The guys never let anybody tell you what you can and can't say, what you should or should not think, because your silence and compliance gives consent. And we'll catch you in the next one when we shoot up another damn figure.
Yeah, man. That's going to be a blast.
Literally.
Sorry, we had to throw a Stigwin out there. For sure. And yeah, and of course, tune in tomorrow. We should be doing the Friday Underground, probably End of the World stream. I don't know. We'll see what happens tomorrow, but if we still have internet and stuff, it should be at 5 p.m.
It's the end of
God
the
only
world
knows at this
as we
point.
know it.
So that'll be interesting conversation. Maybe we'll just do it on Rumble from the beginning. I don't know. Well, I'll play it by ear tomorrow. But either way, tune in. We should have a good time regardless. Even if we're on for YouTube, only for a few minutes just to redirect people to Rumble. I think that's what type of a stream it's going to be tomorrow. So, if you want to hear about a bunch of crazy stuff, we're going to be talking about a bunch of crazy stuff. Like Tommy says, it's not just, Disney, Marvel, oh my God, Kathleen Kennedy, Bob Iger. It's the broken record it's forever on skip. These channels and these people are just all mentally challenged for sure. But if you want to hear some other stuff, what's going on in the world, what we're up to, come tune in. And I am, like I said, I am working on an art book to be released, the volume 3. So like I said, maybe I'm coming close now because I'm still getting a lot of stuff put together for it, and I want to pull a few other extras for you guys. But I'm hoping to launch it by the end of the month, maybe the beginning of November. But I am still working on City of Venus 2. That's going to come out, but I want to put something out before that. Just because it's been a minute since I ran a brand new campaign. Although my other 3, they're still available. So if you want to jump on those, Through the Woods, perfect for Halloween. Jump on that, please. It's an incredible story. Frankie Knows is the co-creator and writer on that one. Shadow of the Kraken, that one's all me. City of Venus 1, that's all me. The art books are, well, the first 2 volumes are on the City of Venus campaign. All the links are in the description. Please check it all out, especially if you love high-quality artwork and stories. You're going to get them with me and my company, Miller Art World, so please jump on all that stuff. You can even just type in Vinnieart.com. It'll take you straight over to Shadow of the Kraken. And from there, you can find the other ones as well. So thank you, everybody. Please, I hope you have an awesome night. I say a quick thank you to everyone out there in the chat. RR, you're crying like libtards. That's exactly what they do. I am beyond sick of it. Like, I really have no more fucks to give when it comes to these people and their egos. So yeah, I'm happy to slap them down. Chaos Hoy, True Art Creations. Let me go up here. Soul Assassin, Frankie Knows, Red Dress Press, Chris Fisk. Some fantastic individuals out there. Chris could have jumped on too if you wanted, but we're wrapping up now. But either way, he's always invited. Friend of the channel, friend to all of us, good peoples. And let me see. Tina Bojan, Adega Outlaw. Thank you all. You guys and girls are fantastic. Monotony, it's another fantastic individual. Let me see. Decepticon's Cave. Keep voting for him. He's like you said, it's should be wrapping up soon. Time Profit, thank you for being in here tonight as well. If I am missing anyone, my apologies. Oh, Kai, MFS. Yeah, there's another fantastic person. Go follow him on social media and all that stuff too. He's got a good product out there and cool channel. Bone, thank you for being here tonight. I think I said Chaos Hoy before. Let me see.
King of Squibs, Edwin.
King of Squibs.
Edwin
yeah,
was
Edwin
in
the
the
Eighth.
house.
Yeah, man. Yeah, dude. Thank you for being here at Toy Mafia.
Keely Chow.
Keely Chow. Yes. So thank you, everybody. Please tune in tomorrow. Again, around 5 p.m. You guys and girls are fantastic. Again, please have an awesome night. Be kind to one another. Kick ass while you create and all that great stuff, but don't take shit from no one. I guess we'll go out on another Transformers one. Yeah, why not?
Hey, I'm stuck! I can't transform! Ow! Thanks! I think.